We are live. Please enjoy this.
Welcome to the Leering Center, where learning is option. Never mind. Welcome to the Trap House.
What the hell? This is my meth cook setup. Look, this is the tin foil, the spoon with a white rock on it, and some chemistry equipment.
Oh, God, I can't believe it's got which kind of music on here.
Yeah, they got that reporter kid, too.
Look at these babysitters and teachers we have. Only the best, the Leering Center guys.
Oh, my God.
Guys, this is how you do it in Minnesota. You see this money? I did it, Dad. I know you did, son. All right, let's get this party started.
Let's make a difference. Vote for walls.
Hey, keep an eye out. Make sure we don't get a flag.
Clear with tin walls, guys. Yeah, we earned it. Let's go, Shirley unit. We're moving fast. No time to lose. Okay, one for the gram.
Here we go.
Unit, all units, move out now. To the coordinates.
They drunk waltz to the under the table.
Freeze! Hands up now! Now! Secure the back now. Fuck around, find out. Now let's make this a reality.
That's too funny.
Welcome.
As to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth. It was because here in this land, we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Belleau Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, My Pledge, he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore, I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure, I will.
The hell?
Did Fat Finger Tuesday happen again?
I don't know what the hell just happened there, but hold on, guys. I guess we're going somewhere else now. The universe don't want to play nice.
American girls and American guys
Yeah, we didn't
will
hear that
always
word.
stand up and salute. We'll always recognize when we see Old Glory flying. There's a lot of men dead, so we can sleep in peace at night when we lay down our heads.
I tell you, my Iranians feel tonight,
My
huh?
daddy
After Trump said he'd blow
served
the
in
shit
the
out of him if they
army.
killed any
We
of
lost
the
his right eye, but he flew a flag out in our yard. Till the day that he died, he wanted my mother, my brother, my sister, and me to grow up and live happy in the land of the free. Now this nation that I love is falling under attack. A mighty sucker punch came flying in from somewhere in the back. Soon as we could see clearly through our big black eye, man, we lit up your world like the 4th of July. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list. And the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist. And the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be here when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell. And it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. All brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Justice will be served and the battle will rage. This big dog will fight when you rattle his cage. And you'll be sorry that you mess with the U.S. of A. Cause we'll put a boot in your ass, Leo. American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list. And the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist. And the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell. And it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. All brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Of the red, white, and blue. Of my red, white, and blue.
Now you see, we can't get any more wars now. Who's going to be singing "Let's Go Kick Somebody's Ass" for us? I mean, come on, man. This is wrong on too many levels. Anyway, welcome everyone to News on the Flip Side. I hope y'all having a good evening. We're through the holidays finally. It's the January 2nd. I know some of y'all feels.
Boy, this year's going by fast already, isn't it? 2 days in.
Half our listeners tonight are still feeling the sting from.
Some of our listeners are 3 days in. Shit.
That's right. If you're an Aussie out there. It's been a lot going on, a lot of stuff going on. I don't know. Every time I turn on the TV now, so they can't. So it was Epstein. Now it's Trump's looking bad. He's got one foot in the grave. He's dying. Oh shit, man, we're in trouble. JD Vance is gonna take over, and we're gonna become Hitler for sure. I'm like, what the? And I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck do you get this stuff from, people? So far, Trump looks pretty good. You know, he will be 80 this year, come in June. So, you know, he's going to be getting up there. But as long as he's healthy, leave him alone. As long as he's healthy and can perform the job. And Vance looks like the kind of guy, well, you know what? His actual sons look like the kind of guys that would say, hey, Dad, you know, why don't you hand over the majority of day-to-day work to Big Vance there? And that way he can get 3 terms, you know, still stay in the presidency, but, you know, you can fly around, shake people's hands and fart on them and stuff. And dinner with them and stuff. Yeah, just go out and enjoy yourself. And we'll take care.
Yeah, since he's VP, he can grab him by the cooch whenever he wants, just like he said. So,
That's right, you know.
But he is he's still, I was saying this earlier, some of my friends almost got into it on my Facebook wall about the something I put up that I wanted to verify, which I was able to. It seems like what's going on in South America, not only is it right now ramping up, but it seems like, at least from what I've been able to find out peripherally right now in the last few days, is legal. Apparently, Venezuela is under a legal court decision, an international court decision, by the way, that states that they have to pay us back for all the oil and the equipment that they stole from us when they absconded with our companies, the American companies' equipment. There's one company still down there. I think it's Citigo. Chevron is still down there, which is an American company. But all the other American companies had their equipment and property taken out from under them, and that's what Trump has taken back so far, and they want it back. Venezuela wants it back, but they owe this court debt. So in order to pay their court debt, Trump and anyone really that was an international authority, England, for example, could seize their ships and take their oil.
Well, as of today, the leader down there said he's willing not only to give all money and land back that was taken, but to make reparations and to see that his people get a better share of what's going on. His words, by the way.
If that's what he's saying,
because they know that he knows they're coming for him. It's just a matter of time now. Some accidental CIA is going to blow his airplane out the sky or some shit somewhere. And
there are international countries or international law enforcement agencies that will arrest him on sight if he steps outside of Venezuela. So he's kind of locked. He's landlocked. He can't go anywhere.
You can go to Cuba, man. Fly over to Cuba. We can't shoot.
You don't think that the was it the Eisenhower that's down there?
No, we can't shoot down the president's airplane.
I didn't say shoot down, but you don't think the Eisenhower won't send up a squadron of F-16s?
Show where I need to show
around doomsday and force it into American airspace? You bet your ass they will.
There's no American airspace down there. That's all. We're in their airspace.
No. They surround him with our fighter jets and force his jet into our airspace. Then they can arrest him.
No, see, he won't do that. He'll just keep flying straight, even if it causes a wreck. So you got to know that going in. This guy's crazy, man. He ain't gonna do that. He'd rather die.
No, we'll shoot one missile across the bow of his plane, and he'll give in.
Nah,
he's a win.
That's what they said about what's his name. That's what they said about what's his name down there that had cancer and all. He was going to Cuba. He didn't give in. He's like, screw y'all. He said, well, because that you can't, if you shoot down or you cause the president's plane to crash, we're gonna be in deep shit. The whole planet. No, Trump, you went overboard there, Trump. Hey, Trump would be going, wait, I didn't know nothing about this, man. That was Pete. Pete, what the fuck you been doing there? I told you, Pete. Don't get out of control, Pete. No, what did I tell you, man? Did you go get out of control? Yeah, you got to get fired now. No. So it's in one of the articles somewhere we had for tonight. It's so the president of Venezuela is saying that he's willing to make reparations and make everything right. All the bitches Trump has. He's willing to make them right, including help feed and get his people back to the ones, because Venezuela used to be a nice place.
Well, I don't think that's all that Trump. I think Trump also requires his abdication as well. And
but Trump hasn't said that. Yeah, but Trump.
Oh no,
Trump
he has. He has said that. He's got to go. He's been saying that.
He said in the beginning he's not for a dictator change. Or a regime change is actually what he said. I call it a dictator change. But he said that more than one time. He didn't want a regime change. Now he only said that.
He didn't inspire. Well, he did try to inspire the Venezuelans to incite a regime change.
Well, he wants to kick him out.
He just doesn't want to be the one doing it.
Yeah, well, he wants to kick him out. He wants to get him out and put that woman in control. The one that wants to give him the peace prize. He wants to put her in control. Who I have no idea who she is. What she is, can she even run a country?
I think she was like the equivalent to like one of our senators at one point in their government system.
So can she run the country? Is she gonna be able to keep the government and the military under control?
That remains to be seen. I would think that you don't just put someone in place you think can do the job. You let the citizens of the country decide who they want to control.
Well, that's not what I mean. Will she, even if the citizens do it? can she control the military not to come back?
Oh
and
yeah,
do a
like I said,
coup?
that would also remain to be seen. I don't know.
I would think. I
I
would
know
think.
nothing about the woman at all.
Well, I would think we'd have to leave some military there if we did that. I think we'd have to.
I
Really,
would
after
think,
all, it's right just across the fucking Gulf, basically. I mean,
I would
it's
think at
not
the
that
very
far
least we
away.
would leave garrisons on the oil properties. You know,
We can have troops there.
ExxonMobil had all their entire facilities absconded with. So, you know, it's
Dean,
like $15 billion worth of equipment and property they were taken from.
We can get troops down there fast. It wouldn't even be a big deal to get troops down there.
We've got troops like on the front door. I mean, they're already there.
We got special ops troops down there. We got Navy, Marines there.
There is at least 11 warships, Navy ships. There are several Coast Guard and Marine ships as well. There are 2 contingents of Marine, just regular soldiers, like nearby on an island. And then there is 1 or 2 SEAL teams. I forget which, but I think it's just 1 SEAL team right at the moment. But yeah, there's some heavy hitters down there. And what is it? Like, is it Eisenhower or the Washington? The aircraft carrier we have down there is like the largest aircraft carrier on the planet.
Yeah,
I think next to the Nimitz.
I think it's the Gerald Ford.
The Gerald Ford, yes, thank you. And it's the second largest aircraft carrier in our inventory, and it's nuclear powered. Plus, I'm guarantee you, it's got nuclear weapons on it right now.
No, it's got everything it needs to wipe out a country, especially.
Yeah, I guarantee you this is probably the reason why Maduro is shaking in his boots, because you know, any minute that contingent of military we have in that area, it's only hours away. We could have the entire country in our hands within a week.
Wouldn't even take that long. So right now, currently, what we got paid.
Well, the size of it, I think it would, but yeah,
no, because you're thinking of it. You're thinking of it in the hard way. There's a much easier way to do it. So first off, we've got all that military there. We've got all those jets there. We got everything there. We got submarines there, probably with cruise missiles. We could take the infrastructure out in a day. They would have no water and power after one day. That's it.
Yeah.
After that, and then after that, that's caused panic and confusion. So a lot of that would get taken care of for us. A lot of things we would have to be going normally with troops to take care of. The panic and the upswell would take care of that for us. So then we could come in behind that and come in and say, okay, no, look, you know, this is what we're doing here. We're just coming to get y'all straightened out, get y'all liberalized. We don't know, you know, what kind of civil war is going on here. And they'll just hunt it down. They won't kill Maduro, but they'll let somebody else do it. And then they can discuss who's going to be the next president, and the rest of the world can get involved, and Putin's nuts can get all swole because we killed his best buddy and his oil, buddy. And
well, I mean, that's where Putin was getting some of his oil from, because the way I read in the articles was Venezuela has been using pirated boats with questionable nationalism. Like in sometimes cases, these boats had 2 and 3 different, nations' flags they flew as their home port, and which is illegal. It constitutes piracy, which makes those boats pirates. But what they have been doing is the Venezuelan oil has been filling these pirate boats, and then these pirate boats have been going to Tehran, and then Tehran's been putting them into their boats. The oil is transferring the oil from the pirate boat to their boat, and then their boat goes over to Russia and drops it off. And then Tehran pays,
which is confusing because Russia's got more oil than anybody.
Right, but they're not producing it. They're not digging it out.
Well, that's
or at least if they are, they're not digging out in the droves of like other nations are. But that's the way that the money laundering has been going. Is Venezuela's oil goes to Tehran. Tehran sells it to Russia. Russia pays Tehran. Tehran pays Venezuela. Venezuela fills another boat, and it just keeps going. And the math is something like 300 or 320 boats of that size that we've been taking is what we need to take for them to pay up their entire debt. 300 of those boats, and we have 3, I think.
No,
maybe 4.
They're taking them now, and the Europeans are taking them too. So that's
it's their open game. If they're flying more than one country flag as their nation's home port.
And I want to give Trump credit for standing up for the Iranian people and saying, look, if you kill any of the protesters, we're coming for you. He did not have to do that. But he needed to make the Ayatollah think, and the president over there think, look, no, you're not going to round him up, stick him in jail, and kill him, because if you do, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
what is that, Jimmy? Because you can't. So most people, how old are you, Jimmy? I don't want to be rude, but how old are you? Like 35, 36, 37? Yeah. Okay. So this is before you. So if you go, there's Syria, Iran, Iraq, there's like 5 or 6 countries over there. If you go back and look at the countries in the 70s, 60s and 70s, they look like any state in the United States. Girls wearing skirts, hair curled, just like any.
Very westernized.
I mean, just, yeah, completely actually. And that's who they were. And then the Muslim society took over. And now they're walking around with their cities bombed out, with their faces covered up, and what?
They're wearing the equivalent of half-inch thick wool sheets over their heads and bodies because the Sharia law, the mentality and the thinking is that women are so wicked that if men even see like a flock of hair or like their ankle, men would be driven to spats of rape and rage, which is bullshit. Pardon my French. Why is that? So why is that woman's fault that some bastard rapist saw her hair? It's just an excuse to be a rapist, and that's what basically has been happening in these countries for several 40 years, 50 years now.
Yeah, well, I mean, women pretty much have no rights over there. I mean, you can definitely be stoned for getting raped. That always just weirded me out. I'm like, excuse me, do what?
Yeah, well, and here's the weird thing. One of the rules of Sharia law is that a married woman and an unmarried woman must be escorted through the streets by their oldest living, closest male relative, whether it's a son or a husband or a father or a brother. Now, in certain places and cases, women have taken their children, which were 3 or 4-year-old boys, which is their closest and oldest relative that they have at the time. Sometimes if the men are off at work, men have used this as a loophole, saying that it doesn't count because it's a baby. So women have been brutalized in that same fashion. So it's a horrendous mentality. It does. There are several countries, I think 8 or 9 at least, in that area that now practice these types of laws. And we should not be dealing with any of them as anything but terrorist states. And if any of them tries to negotiate with us, we should just simply invade their country and take it over and let their citizens reinvent their government in whatever fashion they want. Whether that comes up as communism or dictatorship, whatever the hell those people want, that's what they should have.
Well, the problem is there's like 1.6 billion Muslims, so we can't go around and wipe them all out, and you're not going to convert.
Well, I mean,
them
it's not not a question of wiping out, but I mean, taking control. But you will have to, yes, you would have to go in with violence because there was this. I don't know what channel I was watching today, but they were talking about Islam, and they were talking about the other religions as well, and in almost every other culture and religion, saying certain sayings are opposite in Muslim culture. For example, lying is something that's actually required of some of these Sharia law type of mentality, extremist clerics. It's how they actually infiltrate and become suicide bombers. They lie to get into where their bomb will be most effective, and at the appropriate time is when they go off. And we've seen this for what did I say, 40, 50 years? When did it happen? 70s, 40, 50, 60 years now? It's got to stop. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. I've ever since I was a little kid, 10, 11 years old, I have always been saying that religion is a bad thing. If it's taken to the extreme level, which is what it is doing in some of these Muslim states, it's creating oppression and slavery, sex slavery, trafficking slavery, all kinds of stuff. I mean, these countries should not be existing on this planet in this day and age with the technology that, for the most part, the United States has put down on the planet, but Russia's put down a lot of technology. China has put down a lot of technology. Almost all of the technology we take for granted right now, cups, plates, bowls, chopsticks, knife, fork, spoon, the spork, all of these fireworks, all of these neat things were invented by China first.
Or China, we steal all their inventions.
We have all this cool shit, and then we have these 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 15 countries that are just a bunch of assholes that, quite frankly, NATO and other, civilized countries should give them an ultimatum. Look, you flip out and turn off this Sharia law bullshit and give women their rights, or the entire planet's coming for you, and we'll let your citizens decide your fate, and you may either die or not. We don't care, but you stop this bullshit, and that's what has to happen. We're not going to get. We keep talking about getting, total unity, whether it's religious and government and monetary systems and military systems, all to be one mentality, one thinking. We're not going to do that with religion the way it is right now on planet Earth. The Muslim extreme, kill all until they're Muslim or dead is not something that I think the rest of the planet really agrees on or wants. So I don't think we're morally, if the entire planet agrees, I don't think we're morally in the wrong if we just go down there and wipe those fools out. They're outnumbered if we do it that way. They're outnumbered 100%. So it's like give them an ultimatum. If the whole planet agrees, like almost all the nations, but these few, Muslim extreme nations are controlled by clerics. If we tell them, we're coming for you, or you change your ways, that might do it. But I mean, they're extreme. They blow themselves up. It's strange. It's a strange culture.
It is a strange culture, but I don't know.
I don't understand it. I mean, who believes? I mean, I haven't since I was like 6 or 7 or 8 even believed that there even was a God. And then for some people to believe that if they, destroy themselves and kill a whole bunch of infidels with them on their way up to heaven, they get 72 Vestal virgins. How does anyone believe that? I mean, that's almost like saying, hey, if you jump off this bridge, you'll become Superman.
Yeah, you piggies.
I mean, it's the equivalent of that. If I told someone, hey, if you jump off this bridge right now, all the way down, 5,000 feet, you'll turn into Superman before you hit the ground. And if they do it, are they going to? That's just insane. I wouldn't do it.
Why not, man? You don't like to just jump and follow just to follow along and
not even on a goddamn bungee cord,
and
sir.
as you're falling,
even no. Mm-mm.
As you're falling towards the
no, if there was a pool, 5,000 feet, no. But I mean, if there was a pool and it was like 15, 20 feet, yes. I was a lifeguard for 9 years, for Christ's sakes. Before I could even really walk, run, swim, or do anything, I was going off 15-foot diving platforms as a kid. I actually was in a show. And I still have the sequins bathing suit that I wore when I was 2 in Florida. It's disgusting how small it is too. I can't even get it past my ankle.
I'm not even asking, man. That's one of the things that you don't want to know about.
It's a silver sequin swimsuit. That's all it is.
Yeah,
and I can't even. It's so small. I can't even get it past my damn ankle.
He thought he was a Silver Surfer, guys. We know what the hell is going on. He thought he was a Silver Surfer.
So basically, what happened? All right, here's the story. All right, so it's innocent. What happened was I was 2. We were in Florida. It was a diving show, whatever, I guess, a competition. And I was the youngest performer. I climb up all the way under this 15-foot high dive. I get to the end of the thing, and the announcer goes, "This is John McNicholas. He's going to do a high dive." And I get to the end of the board, and I go, "Hi, Mom," and I jumped off. End of story. Silver sequin bathing suit, which I can no longer wear. It's just freaking big. I can't even get it past my freaking ankle.
Oh, people. Well, I don't know what we're going to do with Jay. We're going to have to have him committed, I think.
I've been a performer all my life.
It might be time.
I've been a performer my whole life.
It might be time to put him away.
I need meds.
No, I mean, Iran's got its issues, and they had a lot of problems over there right now. And they need to get their country together. See,
their infrastructure is collapsing, for one. I know that. And number 2, they just went through the most rain they've ever had in like 1,000 years, which not only hurt their infrastructure, which is failing, but collapsed certain parts of it, and they have to rebuild those pieces. but their economy is flopping. Their military is destroyed. Their any nuclear aspirations they might have had are in the toilet right now, unless they decide to try and rebuild them. In which case, Trump said it would not be good for them. So they're up shit's creek, and they don't have any paddles really to save their ass.
It's what's that, Dean? You mean the Democrats as a whole party? I don't know. Last time I checked, they had a 15% approval rating.
They're also up shit's creek, though, I believe, without a paddle.
It looks pretty horrific. Governor Newsom. So you're gonna love this. So this is what they're polling at right now as a nation, not as in their own party, as in the nation. Governor Newsom's party is Governor Newsom himself is polling 6%. Kamala Harris is polling 3%, and AOC is polling 2%.
Oh,
yeah. JD Vance is polling 47.5%.
See, my prediction is starting to look pretty good.
So but it's still early.
All we need is, like, before the ballots are finalized, is for Vance to say my running mate is Donald J. Trump, and I win the kudos.
He's not putting Donald J. Trump on. Donald will be lucky to make it through the next 3 years.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially if Rubio or any of the others, next top candidates start faltering.
Rubio was 12%. Yeah, Rubio was 12%. That's what he's polling at, and
it was 15 last week.
And Dan DeSantis is around 6%. It doesn't matter, 7%. It doesn't matter. Even their low polls still higher than anything the Democrats are.
That's true, but still a 3%, loss is within the deviation factor.
That could just be the poll.
Down at a possible 9.
Yeah, but that also could be the error factor in the poll. So it could also be exactly the same.
Yeah, so it's in that.
All right, Jack. The polls aren't really. No, we're going to start getting into the polls pretty soon. No, let them get through January, and then we'll be.
Yeah, remember we just came off of 18 or 19 months of poll after poll after poll, and there wasn't a single dancer on any of those polls.
That's right. No, I know it's been a year since the election. Jeez, and Pete's going.
No, it hasn't.
It's actually been more than it. It's actually been more than a
year. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's actually been more than a year. But they don't. We're not going to see anything good until probably they'll start jiggling a little bit in February, March. They'll start moving. Midsummer polls will be moving around really good. No, we're going to be.
Reporting. I think economically, we're not going to see anything moving until about that same time, also. So, I mean, I think that's when.
Yeah, you'll probably see us do some bi-weekly polls coming up,
But we have to remember also the government just came off of how long? 8 months of shutdown.
8 months. What do you mean 8 months, man? 8 months. Jesus.
How long were they shut down for? 6 months, 5 months? Everyone.
No, a couple of weeks, man. 8 months.
It was a couple of months, actually.
Yeah, Trump was only in office for 8 months.
But
he's only been in office 10 months.
They're still gaining speed, and they've all, and with all of the predictions, no matter whether it's a blue station or a red station or one of those in the middle stations, or just even like the National Enquirer was getting this right. They're all agreeing that we're not going to see any positive income relief until at least mid 2026, like March, June, July. But they said the real boom will be towards the end of the year. But we're still.
What are you talking about, man? Well, they already got it wrong because we're seeing relief now. So you've seen the last report. The last report is definitely relief.
But the real relief doesn't start. I mean, I don't think it starts until like February 1st is when the big beautiful bill kicks in. That's when the income tax on your overtime turns off. That's when income tax on your Social Security income in many areas, most states. I don't think California is one of them. Gets turned off. So that's when those people that's like, February, March is when those people are going to see that. Is when they turn that stuff off. The rest of us aren't going to see that. But the economy has already begun to spin around. The real boon is going to come from that big, beautiful bill. Is what all the stations are saying. Even the blue stations, the democratically leaning stations. And I agree with them. I mean, you can't.
You want to know where the boom's going to come from? I'll tell you exactly how it's going to work out. And this is easy. Everybody can watch this. I'll prove this to y'all, and you can all watch this for yourselves. That way, in weeks, you can be bugging me about it. So, if you go back to bread and everything, just say 10 weeks ago, it was about 15% higher than it is right now. But diesel was also in the 380 range. So your boy got on TV today where he lives. Regular gas is $2.04 a gallon and falling, and diesel is $2.44 a gallon. So a diesel at $2.44 a gallon is ridiculously low. It was $5 most of all of last year. $4.89 to $5. That means everything we ship is now going to cost that much less. And I mean, that's a lot of money. That's not a little bit of money. Plus, you've got the tariffs on top of it. So I don't know.
At the store across the street from me right now, my gas prices are for regular gas, and that's 89. It's $3.09. Mid grade, I don't know the numbers, $3.49, and then premium is $3.89. Diesel $4.29. But
You know,
2 months ago, those numbers were all $1 more. So it was like $4.09, $4.49, et cetera, and like $5.29, $5.69 for diesel. And that wasn't just here in Pennsylvania. That's also those prices were, within 10 cents to 30 cents in Maryland.
Yeah.
So it was, a lot worse just 2 months ago.
Well, Jimmy, when I was in DC, it was over $4.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, come on, man. And it was only $2.80.
And it's my stomping grounds, man.
The high it's gotten down here was $3. Now in Joe Biden's like his third year, it got about $3.29. That's outrageous for gas here. I mean, we have gas.
I know for sure. I saw $5.09 on the rudder sign across the street. But I want to say the highest was like $5.85, $5.89.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise
at one
me
point here. Yeah, almost $6.
Randy, they got there's a couple places now that are below $2.50 in the country. I think there's 15 states right now.
The national average was saying it was 189 or 199.
That was last week. I don't know what
week.
it is. Yeah, it should be going down.
National average gas price today. National average, but current average is $2.83.
No, I was about to say
$2.83.
Nah, them sites are usually pretty close, Jimmy. Yeah, they're usually pretty close. They might be off a penny here and there. But
Here's a question on this Google page: is $200 a month for gas? Not if you're driving a truck. I'm sorry. If you're spending $200 a month on gasoline, unless you have a very long commute or you're driving a semi truck, either day trips or overnights, that's money. Most cars these days, you should not be spending. If I put $20 in my gas, my Camry holds 16 gallons. It gets like roughly 34 gallons a mile. 34 miles a gallon. Sorry, excuse me. I get dyslexia. But $20 will last me, at least 12 to 14 days, at least paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, but you ain't driving nowhere. See, I was commuting back and forth to New Orleans.
I have a 30-minute commute. Okay, yeah.
I was easily spending $200, and when gas was $3 a gallon, I was easily spending $200 a month. Easily, sometimes more than. God help me when I was driving my truck.
It should never be that. No, that's why I was laughing.
When I was driving my pickup truck, it was more like $600 or $700. It was ridiculous. But
the story I always use is when I used to have an MGB. It looks like today's modest Miata MX-5s, the convertible car. I had one of those. Pretty good gas mileage. It was a naturally aspirated British straight 4, not a fast car. I think it was 1300 cc engine. I mean, it's about the same size as a Volkswagen. No, actually, it was a 1700 cc engine, just a little bit bigger than a Volkswagen Beetle. However, I could go to the gas station in 1984, 85, 86, 87. I could hand the guy a $20 bill, ask for a package of cigarettes, hand him a 6-pack of beer that I got out of the refrigerator, and say, put in $10 of gas in my gas tank, which would fill it. I would give him $20 bill. I would give him a $10 bill, and he would hand me paper and coin cash back. That's how good the economy was. $10 bill will fill up your tank, get you a package of cigarettes, and a decent buzz going.
Yeah, man.
All under $10.
No more.
You can't do that no more.
Yeah.
You can't even go to the movies with being paying. Me and Diane went and saw, and I'd seen the movie both in the theater and multiple times on VHS, Spinal Tap. Rob Reiner's, and thank God, he just recently was, murdered. But we went to the local cinema draft house called Warehouse Cinemas. How much do you think it cost the two of us to watch that movie? We had a drink each, non-alcoholic drink each, and I had popcorn, and I think she got candy.
50 bucks, 60 bucks.
$60 exactly. It's $60 for a 2-hour movie that I had seen before. You'd never seen it.
For Z-Gen
but it shouldn't be $60 freaking dollars.
So for you Z-Gens and even for you millennials, movies were supposed to be fun and cheap. You were supposed to be able to go and hang out with your friends and get cheap popcorn and cheap hot dogs and cheap Cokes, watch a movie, not cost you an arm and a leg. And really, $10 was all you needed for the whole night. You could take a date and everything on $10.
Let me pop everybody's head here. Movies used to be like this in my parents' age, 30s, 40s, and beyond. When the movies, motion pictures have been in movie theaters starting in playhouses because that's all they had was theaters that they put plays on. There was no television. You had your choice of entertainment was radio, or you go saw a live show at a playhouse. That's it. So movies came out 1929-ish. The theaters were starting to make them. They always often had a piano player that would play music because there was no sound on these movies. But you could, in the 30s and 40s, you could go to the movie for like 10 cents. You could go in and watch. What would happen is you would see a reel of Army news from World War II. You see real news. Then there'd be a few cartoons, Woody Woodpecker, Chilly Willy, Mickey Mouse, 5 or 6, 7, 8 cartoons. And then there's a feature, which would be like, let's say Lone Ranger. So you'd see like a 45-minute or a 60-minute episode of The Lone Ranger, which was like a 3-hour or 250-minute long thing that they showed you in 35 and 45 and 55-minute clips. And then you might see another reel, a short, maybe a Three Stooges funny short at the end. And then it would start all over again. And you could sit there all day. You could go out of that theater and go take a whiz, buy some more popcorn, and go back in there and watch it all over again. It wasn't like it is today, where you buy a ticket, you go in, you sit down, you see that movie one time, and they kick you out. It wasn't like that. Yeah, you can stay there all friggin' day if you wanted to.
Yeah, and they used to have double matinees and all. It was just, it was a lot more fun back then than it is today.
Way more fun.
Well, no, Jeffrey, now you get to go to
when I was a teenager, it was $4. It was, if you went before 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, it was $4 to get in. If you went after 5 or 6 o'clock, depending on the theater, but after people were going home for dinner, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the movies, they went up by $2. So you pay $6. Who cares? I made $3,000 in a month because I was a lifeguard. Money was no big deal in the 80s. Nobody needed money back then. Everybody had tons of it falling out of their pockets. You know why? You know why? Because a Republican was sitting on the presidential seat.
What's a Republican? What are those things? I've heard about them before, but I'm not sure about what they are.
I would just say they're economic conditions, economy-gicians. I don't know. They're good with money.
Well, I'd heard at one point they were going extinct, and then they.
Well, there was just this group of idiots called the Democrats who basically committed professional suicide across the board. I mean, it's like. Ready? Go! And they all just harry-carried themselves.
What are you talking about? Oh, no.
You probably can't tell, but it's can you see the white?
Wait, hold on. I'm on somewhere else. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can now.
It's a hourglass. We have that much time before the next, or the first break anyway. Yeah, well, we got 3 minutes in the next 20 minutes. Yeah, we had a big whopping 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We're actually live. We're only on for 45 minutes so far. Oh, I still get you. Yeah, with 9:57 or 10:57. Yeah, we started a little bit late. Not much, but only 3 or 4 minutes. But we played a couple extra songs. KGB in the house. Jimmy, what are you talking about? It does snow down here from time to time. Last year it snowed about a foot and a half. It's a rare thing. I was in Georgia in, when was it, 91 or 93? It snowed at least twice while I was down there. First time was really literally just a dusting, but it still messed everybody up. Literally, I mean, it did. Like schools were closed for the day. I was like, "You're closing on a dusting?" I mean, I'd laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
We didn't close unless there was, more than 4 or 5 inches. But on top of that, the second time it snowed, it was like maybe 2 inches. But so it actually like accumulated on the streets this time. And I was thinking, because I've been watching this show called The Dukes of Hazzard, if you heard of it. I was thinking, these Georgia boys, they know how to drive a car because I see them all the time on the Dukes of Hazzard, like, and they doing speed outs and burnouts around turns and losing cops and shit. I'm like, okay, these guys know how to drive on snow.
Mm-mm.
Bam, into buildings, bam, into stop signs, bam, into parked cars. I was just saying, I actually literally, I'm from the north and I'm used to snow and 4 season weather. I literally walked out of my apartment, which is on a one-way street, Price Street in Savannah, Georgia, very fast street, 35, 45 mile an hour traffic most of the time. I step out. First thing I see is this guy coming down 35 miles an hour. I see him turn his blinker on and I see where he wants to go. And I'm like, I start doing this at him. I'm like, no, 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 no. Bam, stop sign. I turn and just start walking. I'm like, this is just insane. As soon as I turn to walk, another car comes like out of the street in front of me, which I think was Habersham Street, and he tries to turn down this one-way street, Price Street, and there's buildings right here. And he goes, bam, right up onto somebody's porch. And I literally, at that point, you know what I did? I turned around, walked back into my house, and closed the door. I forgot what I was doing. I think I was going to the liquor store to buy a 6-pack. I literally turned around and went home and closed the door. I was that scared. I stepped out of my house and went 2 feet, and I saw 2 accidents.
Wait. Yeah, we're glad you drive a truck. I'm sorry, a guy with the truck, the diesel 264, regular 204. Phillips 66. I think he said he's in Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah, I think that's where he said he was. Maybe I'll play it when we get back, guys. No, I was looking for something else I had on Facebook. That's all. Yeah, that's why we keep stuff all over the damn place. You mean what we're going to talk about? We'll come back. Hold on, I'll tell you right quick. Before we go
All
to
kinds of stuff. Oh, how about that 22-minute Roswell video? Did you look? Did you find anything?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen it. You got to send it to me.
I haven't. I can't find it. I keep finding these videos they're like AI, and the one video I saw, I watched almost all of it. It was about a 22-minute long video itself. Then everyone showed the picture or any of the Roswell footage, and all they did was describe, like as if you were a blind person, what you would see on the video. It's like on those options on video and DVD, like how they would it's not just closed captioning, but they actually describe what's on this. Our main character is walking in with he's got a laser gun and he's fighting a bunch of animals. It's like that, but they don't ever show you the goddamn footage or the picture, whatever the hell they're trying to talk about. It's frustrating. So I'm thinking it's probably an AI bullshit thing, but I don't know.
What's that, Jack? No, there's actually no talent. No, we're gonna. Yes, we're gonna take a break right quick. We got a couple of promos. We got a song. Then I'm gonna let Jay run some promos when the song comes back, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna harass y'all some more. But before we go, what did I do with it? I just had it in front of my beautiful face just a second ago. As you know, that kind of one that when you see it at night, you run because it scared the hell out of you. Yes, that. Jimmy's like, what the hell are you talking about, man? Yeah, what do you mean? What am I talking about, man?
What was it that Gary called me say? What you talking about, Willis?
Hey, what you talking about, Willis? So we got to talk a little bit about Venezuela. We've talked a little. We've talked a little bit about Venezuela. We got to also talk about Putin, and his name equals ass now.
Well, I don't think we need to talk so much about Putin as so much as Zelensky. I think he's the.
Oh, we're going to be talking about Zelensky. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Zelensky as well. I actually got a little bit to talk about on Atlas. It's been a little weird last couple of days. We're also going to talk about a record iron ore found $5.7 trillion worth.
Really? Where?
Yeah, we have to get there. Britain become a warning for America, whatever the hell that means.
What?
Tanker ignores U.S. Coast Guard as Russian demands U.S. halt pursuit. So we're going to get into all this. There's quite a few more of these links we're going to get into.
You know what else we need to get into? we got into Iran a little bit, but this has been glanced over by every news media. Every one of them mentioned it like once 3 days ago, and I think Fox mentioned it again today. Iran actually declared war against the United States, NATO, England, Spain, Greece, France, and like 5 other countries in Europe, or whatever, all the countries in Europe, I think, except maybe the neutral ones, Switzerland and Sweden. But then they reiterated, Iran did a second time, that they had declared war upon us. But no one has said anything. I mean, I think Trump's the only one, and it was like on the it was an Air Force One interview, and you could barely hear what he barely make out what he says on that video.
So what we gotta wait and see is if if Russia, because I mean they're supposed to be a protector of Russia, aren't they?
Well, yes, I believe they are. But here's the thing: if a country declares war on you and your, allied friends and your, entire peninsula of Europe, why isn't anybody like stomping the Ayatollah's guts out?
Because I don't think anybody cares. I mean, he's not really a threat to anybody.
It's a good answer. It's probably a correct one.
I mean, it's just unfortunate. Somebody should care, and we should go over there and remove them and free those people and give them the right to
that
move.
kind of nonchalance is what we've been getting in trouble with over the last several years. Nobody wants to, especially when these terrorist organizations want to, do bad things to us. They don't. It's like you say at the end of World War II, we might not be in this situation if the U.S. had continued and taken, kept control of the territories we had liberated. Well, we would own all of Europe almost now, and parts of Russia and parts of Japan.
I'm sure we would have changed the name to the Confederation of Earth or some bullshit.
But the point I'm making is that we keep continuing to make concessions for these people, so we don't have to explain why we blew them up with either a nuclear bomb or a bunch of weapons, or just went in there like full force planet wide and destroyed them. I mean, I think we have justification pretty much to, if not kill them all, that's the doomsday, I guess, in me. But if not to do that, at least at least secure the area and bring let the people who would be native to that region decide on their own new government once we have taken out all the bad guys.
Well, what they need to do is use Dubai and Saudi Arabia as a thing to beat them over the head with. Saudi Arabia is slowly but surely changing the way they think. So they get Muslims. They're Muslims, but they've changed their law. They don't have to wear the burqa anymore. They're changing this. They had Sharia law. That's what I'm saying. So they change it where they don't have to wear burqas all the time in the face. They have to wear whatever they call hajjin.
There are certain modicums, but it's a different.
But now they're allowed to drive. They're allowed to go to, guess what? To parks. They weren't allowed to go to parks before. Theme parks weren't even allowed in their country. Now they're building one.
Yeah, they're allowed to have jobs and go to college.
So things are changing there. So they're realizing they can have their laws. So what they have to do is like we had to do. There were some laws that the French and Spanish, like in Louisiana, they call them blue laws. They're still on the books.
Or Bible laws,
they're blue laws. They're blue laws. Which can still be enforced, by the way. In case you know that, ladies and gentlemen. The laws are still on the books and can be enforced, but they're not, because the ridiculous laws, like the one in Louisiana that allows you to take a 4-inch strap and beat your wife on Sundays because she was bad or mischievous or something.
Yeah. There's one
mom would pull that moth
in
and
Georgia, which is hilarious. In order, and they can still enforce this if they wanted to, in order to get it on with your legally married wife in the state of Georgia, it must be within the master bedroom, and only the master bedroom, not any other room of the house, just the parents' bedroom is where it can occur. The windows must not only be shut and draped, but shuttered. So the outside shutters, which are usually wooden hinged doors, need to be pulled in, shut, and locked. And the window is shut and locked. And then the drapes are pulled across. And the lights, or at that time the law was written, candles, oil lamps must be out. So if you don't do that in the state of Georgia, legally, you can be up for sodomy.
Don't be behaving. Try to
Yeah.
behave yourself. There's lots of strange laws in our country, but most of it, that's what'll happen to.
My favorite strange law is Chicago, the era of the first time Chicago hosted the World's Fair. There is it's still on the books that you cannot put in your pocket a vanilla ice cream cone in the months of June, July, March, and August. Basically summer. You can't put
Well, you can't sell a Chicago deep dish pizza on the right side of any street.
Really?
It's got to be on the left side. And in the old days, traditionally, it had to be served underground.
Oh shit!
It wasn't the old days because they had all underground clubs. That's why.
Well, yeah, it was a
speakeasies, man.
Speakeasy era. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What to do? We're going to break right quick. It's a little House of the Rising Sun by the Originals, actually. No, not the group's not called the Originals. No, sorry. Yes, we'll look them up and see. I actually got to see these guys live. It's Eric Burden and the Animals. I got to see them live in New Orleans on one of the steamships. I think it was a U.S. the President. It was a great night. Yeah, we sailed up and down the ship and had a good old time. And my friend got arrested because some transvestite tried to, feel him up. No, I'm serious. We were in a cab and she jumped in the cab with us and said, "Oh, hey, where you going, boys?" And started feeling him up. And then he went to, and then, all of a sudden there was a problem. I still remember that night even now. That was too funny. Anyway, sorry for leaving you with that perverted story. We'll clear that up with some music real quick.
Why is it though, Joe, that every retired Navy man that I know has a transvestite story or two in their repertoire?
They say, when you hang out in places,
what is it with you guys, huh?
They just, they're just attracted to Navy guys, man. I can't help that.
I guess.
It's just one of them. All these Navy guys going to have to. Did he just say transvestites are attracted to?
Yes, he did.
Don't write to me, no, man. Jay said that shit. I didn't say that. You can't write to Jay.
You did say that.
No, man. No, anyway. This is Eric Burden and the Animals, and we'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. And as soon as this is over, Jay's going to click on some promos. I don't know how many, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, a couple of them.
And then we'll be back from that. And then we got you heard the list.
I'll tell you what. Sean Hasson's 9-second tagged spot will be the last one I hit.
All right, well that works for me. So let me click this on, guys and pretty girls, and away we go.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun. And it's been
my mama said I was so bright she would call me son.
And God, I know I won. Sold my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing you gamble needs is a suitcase and truck. And the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk.
Here you go, Joe.
Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Spend your lives in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. The old put on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. Well, there is a house in New Orleans they call the sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. In God, I know I'm one.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away. Dare to discover.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestro, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
You're still muted.
Why are we ho and hoing? I don't know,
Here
Jay.
we go.
The boss lady said, "Why aren't you on cam?" It's what do you mean? Why am I on cam? Okay, I'll turn myself off. Hold on. No, I was sending the boss lady numbers at the break. Yes. Well, you know, I think sometimes you gotta do that kind of stuff. Yeah, the boss wants the numbers. You gotta send the boss the numbers, man. What can I tell you? She said, or else. So you know. Something about beating somebody up on a network. I was like, okay, I'll get them to you. I don't want to see nobody usually, you know. What's that, Jack? Well, Putin seems to be having issues. First off, Lizinski supposedly tried to blow up his house, which we all think is bullshit. But he did shut down Moscow's power on Christmas Eve.
Did he?
Yes, and he did, and then he shut Moscow's power down again. Then he killed, Putin's number one general. So he's pretty arrogant.
Wait,
bastard.
how many generals have they? I mean,
It's got to be like 14 at least.
A lot.
Yeah, it's got to be at least 14 now. He's been killing them left and right. Oh, he took out an armament division of 200. I think it was 200 tanks plus equipment. Yeah. I don't know, Putin, but yet Putin's holding territory. Lizinski needs to get about 100,000 drones and just unleash them on the borders, and they'll have to leave. Well, they got these new drones that'll fall out the sky when their power gets to a certain point, and they'll just lay there, and they just look like drones. And when you pick them up, they explode.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically mines. If they run into something, they'll explode too. But for some reason, when they land on the ground, they don't. Unless, I guess, if they impact too hard, they will. No, there's a lot of sophisticated stuff they're building over there. For the U.S., this is great. For China, this is great. We get to watch a drone war actually unfold to see how it's going to be.
We get to steal tactics.
Yeah. China's got 2 drone carriers, not 1. Yeah, 2. One of them launched the other day. It's flying around with 100 drones on board. Yeah, it could just launch them anywhere. I don't know what kind of drones we're talking about. I imagine they're different types. Well, because like U.S. could build one, but Reaper drones are pretty big, so you know it's not like you get all that many on there. But you know, you get all kind of other drones you can stuff on there and other things.
I'd say a Reaper drone. I think there's 3 sizes, but the biggest one's about almost the size of a glider.
Yeah, it's a decent size.
Almost the full size of a guy, like 3/4 of a glider size.
Well, they designed
it on board unless you gutted it, but
they design them certain ways so that they're low on. They use low amounts of power and they get maximum amount of lift. Yeah, well, it's like a glider with a damn engine, basically. But they got other types. We got other types of drones that are fast flying, furiously flying.
Well, I think the glider profile is necessary because when it runs out of power, it can, it won't crash. It can stay aloft without power.
No, Jimmy, those were shot down. That's why they crashed. Yeah. It's got a glide range. I forgot what it was. I remember hearing about it in the very beginning, but it's got a glide range. But I'd have to go look it up and see. Well, you can't never trust all that stuff 100%. All you can say is the government said it does this speed and it glides this far, which is probably 60% true.
Yeah, a little short of the actual number.
Well, I can't give any actual speeds, but I can tell you this: the Nimitz is faster than they say it is, and a good bit faster than they say it is, and so are the F-18s. So was the F-14. Matter of fact, first time I was on board a ship and I was listening to the F-14 pilots talking, and I read the official package on the F-14 because you have to. What it does, how fast it is, what kind of fuel it burns, what rate it burns at, what equipment it's got on board, blah 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 blah. Well, I'm listening to these guys. They're talking about speeds far faster than what the official pamphlet said. I forgot what the pamphlet said, but it wasn't near as fast as I did, like 1.6, 1.8. Yeah, no, they were faster than that. But it's like the SR-71, so I've seen the SR-71 on 4 different occasions. First time I seen it, it was clocking Mach 3.3 flying over a base in southern Texas.
Orange.
But no, it wasn't glowing orange.
It wasn't orange.
Just black as could be. Next time I seen it, I went to go see a friend of mine who was in another part of Texas where they guard B-52s, operational B-52s, loaded B-52s, ready to roll B-52s. They got these big circles around them. You got a yellow circle and a red circle. So if you break the yellow circle, your ass is probably in trouble. If you break the red circle, they have orders to shoot on sight.
Yeah.
No. It's not an option. If you cross that red circle, they have to shoot you on sight. Yes, because that more than likely means you're a fucking spy because you just crossed a place where you shouldn't be going. But anyway, I was down there. I went to go see him because I was down for a couple of days, actually for about 6-7 days on HARP duty. Recruitment duty is what I was doing. And I said, "You want to go hang out?" We're sitting there, and you hear this weird humming, whizzing, like pushing air, like air sucking and pushing sound. And then you look up and you see this thing, and it's glowing. I mean, it's just like a freaking UFO glowing. All the front, all the way down past the cockpit is just glowing. So in the front, it's just the whole front of the damn thing is just orangish red, and then the trailer sides where the rims were all red as well. So we looked it up. So in order to get that hot, it had to be doing between Mach 5 and Mach 6. There's no way at Mach 3 it would have made, because it's actually designed to go Mach 3.5. That's what the
it's a cruising speed. But I mean, what do most missiles go at? About 4 or 5,000.
Well, it's not. But that's not what it is. So you're cruising at Mach 2.5. They launch a missile. My missile can do Mach 6, but as the missile's starting to come in, you kick it in. The missile has to make up the difference plus the extra 1 Mach you just added to the jet. And the altitude that you are. A lot of missiles can't even get that high. They can't fly that high. And they run out of oxygen and shit.
Yeah.
They fall out of the sky and stuff. So it had a tactical advantage. Now it's baby, which they showed flying the other day. It's a beast. I don't know what they're going to do with it yet. It's unmanned from what I hear. I don't like all these unmanned craft. This is risky business. Chinese or Russians get hold of one of these things.
We've brought this up before. We pioneered with that platform, the SR-71. We pioneered autonomous drone technology, D-21 drone, D-25 drone, D-24 drone, 4 or 5 different ones with different types of equipment packages and they were scramjets, so they couldn't launch from a conventional. They had to be going Mach 1 or 2 or 3 anyway.
Yeah.
But they would launch off the top of the Blackbird and go that way 7 miles, and then this way 7 miles, and then they would go home. Or they would redock with the Blackbird somewhere down the road.
Yeah, we got a lot of fancy technology. These days, the drone and ship technologies are very, very advanced. When you look at the X-47 and the F-47, it's crazy shit. Well, we talked about the Navy one. The Navy, for some reason, and it scares me to think that the Navy felt it needed to dumb down its craft. No, it built
it operated with AI for one thing, and that's why they had to dumb it down.
they built a drone that basically nothing we had could shoot it down. Not even a new X-47.
And it said kill all humans first, so they had to stop it.
Well, somebody asked a stupid question, and that's why it said that. So you got to watch what you ask AI. Like the first AI when Google asked, the Google scientists asked, what do you do to save the earth? Kill all humans.
Kill all the humans, yeah.
Yeah. So the question should have been, what do you do to save the humans? Yes, it's all about what you ask AI. AI is just answering the question you gave, and you might not like the answer. So you have to ask the right questions. So AI, what do you do to save humans?
I'll bet you if you change that question to different, how do you save all the cats on planet Earth? I'll bet you the answer is always going to be kill all the humans. How do you save all the aliens on the planet Earth? Kill all the humans.
Cats like humans. Dogs like humans.
Yeah. Boris. The Russian blue.
There was so much with this. So if the stories are true, Putin does want to make peace, or he wants to at least get out of this. He's tired.
I think the holdout is Zelensky. I mean, he said as he left the Mar-a-Lago last week that he's 90%. There's a 90% chance that it's there. There are 2 points he's holding out on, and I think one of them is that he doesn't want. He wants Crimea back, and Putin's not going to give it up.
No, he wants, was it Dunbar? He's not getting Crimea back. He already knows that. So that's a moot point.
But whatever, he's got 2 points that he's holding out on.
So what I don't understand is hey Heidi, welcome back. What I don't understand is, okay, that's fine. Let's do it this way. So okay, look, Russia, Crimea is ours, but you want to keep it. Okay, you can use it. We'll lease it to you, like the Chinese leased Hong Kong to the
exactly. Yes.
We'll give you a 200-year lease on it or a 100-year lease on it, and then if you still need it, we can renegotiate the lease in 100 years.
Yeah,
and we'll even write that into the lease and do it that way. And that way, it's still our territory, but you get the right to use it wherever you want to. As far as the rest of the regions, they need to be returned to us.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there'll be some other things than our territory. You just use it however you feel. I think there's going to be some other things like, no nuclear weapons, no launching attacks on us from here.
Well, the biggest hope.
You're putting someone who's already been aggressive within your country twice, and then you're leasing them land that they've taken. There's some tricky ground here that they've got to step across.
Well, actually, come to find out, the biggest holdup isn't Zelensky or Putin. It's us and the Europeans. Well, yeah, because he wants. So Trump said we'll give him 15 years assurance that if Russia does anything, we'll step in. And Europe said, okay, we'll go with that. But he wants 50 years. And if we're going to do 50,
so what? Give him 50 years. Who cares?
No,
big deal. They'll be our friends.
No, because Russia's not going to go. Russia does. That we might as well make them fucking NATO if we're going to give them 50 years. Russia ain't going for NATO, so you got a tail right there. 15 is going to probably be the most he can get. I would take 15 or negotiate 20 because Putin's going to be dead in 20 years. Fuck Putin.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be alive in 10.
Whatever it is, but still 20 should be enough that they can get past all this mess. Because Russia wants to get out of these sanctions and everything. They're fucking starving. They can't even fucking buy cheese. I mean, Jesus, man, who wants to live in a country where you can't get cheese? And
the only gasoline products they're able to get are being siphoned directly into the military because that's who's using the most of it.
And well, Jane, the problem for Russia is this time of year, Russia's manufacturing abilities are low because of how cold it is. No, in the summers they manufacture as much as anybody does. Remember,
right? But 90% of their country right now is at negative 40 degrees or lower.
Well, no, they provide oil to. Well, they were providing oil to Germany and India, but the U.S. got pissed about it. But yeah, because you can't be making Russia rich. But they were selling them their reserves, and then they were restocking in the summertime. Yeah. Well, they have a hard time. You go produce steel's a bitch at negative 20 and 30 below. Yeah, it's not as easy as you think. That's why them oil rigs out in the Atlantic sometimes shut down for a month or two. Take it for you want. It's a lot harder to produce. It's not just that either. You got to get tankers back and forth.
Well, and also most of the deep estuaries deep into Russia where the tankers would go to drop off oil deep inside Russia are frozen anyway. So yeah,
just
almost,
trying to get out of there is frozen. The art
yeah,
is frozen.
exactly. So it's landlocked for 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, so it's so Russia's got to do what Russia's got to do. Well, I don't believe that this invasion was all just on Putin. I think Zelensky had. I remember there for a while they had been going back and forth, and they were talking about all this corruption, and the United States was talking about all this corruption. I mean, come on, Joe Biden went over there and told them, "What? You're not going to get this $1 billion if you don't fire this corrupt prosecutor who's trying to do my son in." Yeah, Putin might have been a little bit. Plus, they kept talking about joining NATO, and Putin said from day one NATO was a fucking deal breaker. He's already got 3 borders with NATO on. 3 borders he's got to defend from NATO. He can't do that. If we get in a real fight, he's fucked. He won't be in the very beginning, but by 10 days in, he'll be fucked. By 3 months, if he ain't got China and Iran and them sending him shit, he's double fucked. And we're not going to let any Iran or Venezuela send him anything. And even China.
I think we fairly well have Venezuela capped off for the moment. I mean, even their attempts to send stuff through the Pacific had failed.
Yeah.
So
we'll have Israel just take over and watch the Iranians. Just the Chinese. The Chinese are going to limit it because the Chinese don't want to get into it deep because either they're going to get into a war with us or they're going to get starved out because we're not going to buy any fucking product. It's a lose-lose
or
for
our
them.
pals over in South Korea will launch attack from the the left side while we hit them on the right. So,
Japan's itching for a rematch.
Yeah.
No, Jackie, Japan defeated China. Technically, Japan defeated China. We just intervened on their behalf, basically.
Well, before
communist
there was the Sino-Japanese War. Was it after World War II or before? There's a one point where Japan actually owned territory within China's borders, including Hong Kong and places where like Bruce Lee grew up and where Yip Man, the man who taught Bruce Lee martial arts. There's some pretty cool stories, some legendary stories of what Yip Man did during the Japanese occupation.
No, there was a big world war. People, what do you expect? Japan had to learn the hard way. You should have left America alone.
Ice, actually. Ow, God damn it, cat.
Just think about it. If Japan would have left America alone and just went on to help the Germans, they would have conquered everything, and it would have just been us out there.
We'd be the lone swinging dick in the party right now, yeah.
And we wouldn't even have the nuclear bomb. The Germans would, so we'd be screwed.
Probably not. Yeah, no. So we might eventually have been taken over.
Yeah, but no, they woke us up and said, "You want to get in the fight? Sure, we'll get in the fight. We like to fight." And away we went, blowing shit up like we like to do. Well, no, if you ever watch the British guys on YouTube and X and all that, these guys are cool. They live in England. They've been traveling around the United States, and they're really good ambassadors for the States, by the way. Louisiana, the lieutenant governor gave him an official ambassador's thing. Ambassador Louisiana. They're going to bring them down for Mardi Gras and stuff. Yeah, because they loved Louisiana. They were like, food, what is this? He brought back seasoning. They told me he couldn't bring back seasoning. It was bootleg and seasoning and shit. He gets on the British YouTube and tells them, "You see, you people don't know what seasoning is. Let me tell you. Let me show you what seasoning is." So he gives the Brits 5 tons
this little
of shit.
bottle right here.
And he said, he said people give the Americans trouble all the time because they don't have near as many passports as other countries do.
Well, have you eaten English food?
Huh?
Have you ever eaten English food aside from like fish and chips? It's rather bland.
It's always bland. Most of European food is bland. It's occasionally you'll run a dish that's not, but most of it's just bland. But no, Jeffrey, they just, because we like seasoning here. We like seasoning and everything. When we say seasoning, we don't necessarily mean hot. We just mean flavorful. Everything's got the Trinity and the Pope in it. Everything they cook has got the Trinity and the Pope. The Trinity is, what is it?
Oregano?
No, it's onion, celery, and green. It's onion, bell pepper, and celery, I believe. And then the Pope is garlic. So they always cook with all that goes in every damn dish you cook with to start off with. And then there's all kind of seasons like slap your mama old Southern boys, and you just name it. It just goes on.
I'll tell you what, my bolognese doesn't. It's got most of those. It's green pepper, onions, salt, pepper, garlic. You clarify that in the pan, then you drop in a pound of beef, pound of. By the way, folks, we're into food porn. You drop in a pound of beef, a pound of lamb, and a pound of veal, and then you eventually throw in some tomato sauce on top of that once the meat's brown. But that's my bolognese sauce in a nutshell, and it's so good it'll make you want to go and slap your mama. I don't recommend you do that.
Well, you see that's
but you want to.
But see, that's a difference. So you'll start out with a 7 or 8, maybe a 9 season base. Then you'll start adding your powdered seasonings. Well, Slap Your Mama by itself probably has 17 or 18 seasonings in it.
Wow.
And so, and then you're usually going to add a couple of things besides that. Now, I like to put Lola's in it, which is a hot sauce. It's a ghost pepper's hot sauce, but it's not a really super hot one. And it's got a garlic base instead of vinegar base.
I don't know. Why do they call it a ghost pepper if it isn't like so hot it'll kill you?
Well, I think it's just a type of pepper, but in this case, the peppers aren't that hot. I mean, I got peppers right now curing from this year I grew it, and they hot as fuck.
I like a little bit, I mean, I get to a point. I eat this stuff. It's a good salsa. The company's called Green Mountain Gringo. It's not a bullshit story. That's a real place. Green Mountain Gringo salsa. I get the hot. It's like $6 for 32-ounce jar. I guess I don't know, but 10, 15 chips, my head starts to sweat. And then I'm like, that's it. That's all I need.
I mean, and they got like Tony's Creole seasons. They got all kind of
Tony Chachery.
Yeah, they got Tony Chachery's. You can get your fingers on the Chachery's. That's one of the ones you brought back there.
They're advertising Tony Chachery's up here on the TVs now, so I guess he's branching out from Nyon.
Well, he's all over the place, but he's got the injectors too.
Yes,
they're chicken or turkey or anything like that. You can inject it up, buddy. It's a butter based injector. Oh, shit's fucking fabulous. Yeah, you inject a turkey up. We use like a bottle and a half on a 25-pound turkey. That thing had this much liquid in the bottom of the pan to make gravy out of it. It's oh yeah, man, it's fabulous. It's not a just so we start with all that, and then if you cook yourself, you like to add this or that or this or that. You might want to change the color, a little bit of the flavor tones. And then I grow a lot of herbs and vegetables myself. It's just so much better, like chives. So if you buy chives from the store, you're going to use all of them in one little dish. You go downstairs and pick some of my garlic chives or my regular chives. 2 of them, you're like, wow, okay, that was way too much. You don't need any more of that stuff.
Well, here's a trick that people don't know about chives: onions, scallions, and garlic. So all of them are rather kind of pungent. Garlic being one of the more pungent, and the same with horseradish. Horseradish is in the same category, and then the same. You can go with the radish that you put in the salad, like those little red radishes that are kind of horseradishy tasting. The smaller you chop those types of vegetables, the stronger they get. So if you take a whole clove of garlic and you bake it, you can eat it after it comes out. It tastes fantastic. It's not pungent. It's not like it won't burn. You won't open up your sinus patches. It's very good. But you take those same cloves out of that same garlic and you mash them into a little tiny fine pulp, or chop them very, very, very fine with a chef knife. It'll open up your passages. I mean, you'll 25 openings, no waiting. You'll be snotting out of your ears. That's how powerful they get.
So no, I grew my own green onions, my own white onions. Well, green onions are just oversized. So you got chives and you got shallots and you got green onions. And green onions are just bigger. They're all the same damn onion, just the size is all.
Yeah, a shallot's a more mild thing usually. They're not quite as.
Yeah. But no, the green onions I was growing, they were there. The bulbs were.
Leeks are in that family too. Yes.
They might be. I don't know because
I think they are, but leeks are very mild. It's like a sweet onion prepared.
Christopher, well, I like them because when you go down, you take one. So if I bought store-bought green onions in the pack, first off, they'd be much smaller. But secondly, I'd use most of the pack for cooking. I go downstairs and get one out the garden. That's plenty. You're like, Jesus. Oh, yeah, man. It's just potent. Same thing with anything we grow down there. Parsley, rosemary. It's just extremely potent because it's fresh. It hasn't lost all those oils and juices yet. Oh yeah, and don't bite into one of them red pepper.
Nothing beats fresh herbs. I used to have a Russian purple what's the sage, purple sage, riders of the purple sage. I had a purple sage, and it was a big plant on the side of my house. And sometimes I would cook a steak. I would, like the last few minutes, I'd go out there or even before I would cook, I'd grab this couple sprigs off of it, and at the last minute, right, like last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you throw it in there. So if you throw it in the beginning, it burns away and it's nasty. But you just throw 2 sprigs of purple sage, raw purple sage, on a steak at the last 2 minutes, and sage encrusted steak is really hard to do, but that's really good.
Hey, if you get in there, get in there. No, Jimmy, we grew basil. Last I got basil going down there, and it makes a pretty white flour too to boot. So, freaking basil, once it's sweet basil, especially once it starts growing and seeding, it'll grow all over your garden if you let it.
Mm-hmm. It'll take over.
Yeah, but
a lot of people nowadays, though, Joe, they don't grow outside. They have the countertop. Grow your own veggies. Not veggies. Well, I think they have it for veggies too, and a couple.
Yeah, but see, that just
fruits.
doesn't.
But it's like a little stacked thing, a little steer.
Yeah, but we tried that. It just doesn't produce enough.
Huh?
It just doesn't produce enough of the amount that we cook.
Yeah.
So we're gonna use our garden down here. You get to use the garden about 8, maybe 9 months out of the year. You might even get lucky. I mean, we just picked our last tomato 2 weeks ago. So it tells you, and that's another thing. Like the tomatoes and the cucumbers are just fresher. They get a better taste to them. Actually, we've tried doing that, John, crossing herbs with tomatoes just to see if we could get, or even cucumbers, to see if we could get them to pick up the flavor. It just doesn't seem to work. But we tried a lot of different things.
Some experience in that same realm, though, have actually panned out now, and I don't remember what brand it is, but my mother found this brand of rice that somehow that the guys who are now growing the rice, the farm before that was an almond farm. So somehow, I don't know how it worked, but the rice that these guys grew on this land that was once an almond farm, I guess they pulled the trees out. Maybe the roots are left. I don't know. The rice has a distinct almond flavor to it that is not added. It's just you boil this rice. I don't know if you boil it in a bag or if you steam it in a rice steamer, but the best rice on the planet. It was almond flavored rice.
Jeffrey, you want to know the easiest recipe for rice? 2 cups of water, 1 cup of rice, 20 minutes, perfect rice every time. I would do it at 17 because not all stoves burn at the same heat.
I use a rice steamer, and not depending on how much. I don't know what the timer is on, but I think if I fill it all the way up, it's like 10 minutes to steam a whole. I think it's 6 quarts. It does 6 quarts at once. Ooh, I hate cilantro. Blah. Cilantro is parsley.
Yeah, there's a couple of different kinds of cilantro, by the way. I got this.
Well, they're part of the parsley family. Have you ever gone to a restaurant, a fancy restaurant, and they put parsley on your plate? You ever eaten parsley? It's freaking nasty. Why the fuck you put it on my plate? If I'm not supposed to eat it, why you put it there?
You chop up parsley's good on top of steaks. It's good on top of mashed potatoes. But you got to chop it up. You can't eat it as a piece of like a leaf. And cilantro.
It's not a garnish. It's a nasty tasting plant. Get it off my plate.
And in any good Mexican, any kind of good Mexican, you got to have cilantro. You're not getting any sauce.
But the problem is, though, that most Mexican restaurants, they all make the same formula of red salsa that as soon as you sit down, there's like the one chubby Mexican lady that like throws a basket of chips and salsa in front of you. A lot of times they use way too much cilantro, and you don't need that much. It's a very pungent flavor. You need less of it. It's like garlic. You need less of it than you think you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fact of the matter.
I think
if I was going to be a food critic.
I mean, like I said, there's a couple of different types of cilantro. The stuff I got growing out in my yard right now is more like a pine flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit different. And it's spriggy. It's not leafy. It's a little bit different.
No, it's Heidi. Cilantro does not taste like parsley, but they're in the same plant family.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely the same plant family. Actually, Jimmy, there's different types of parsley too. There's fancy parsley, there's cut parsley. There's a couple of types of parsley, yeah.
There's different kind of radish besides horseradish. I mean, there's.
Oh, well, that's when you get the radish.
I mean, different kind of onions are there.
There's a lot of onions. There's a lot of different colored radishes.
Different kinds of apples.
Yeah, but you don't need. Oh, I mean, really, truly. First of all, most people aren't going to eat 14 different types of apples or anything like that. Most people, if you ask them the color of an onion, there's only one or three colors they're going to probably tell you: white, yellow, or red.
If you blindfold and pinch the nose of any human being and give them a sliver of onion and a sliver of apple, they cannot tell which is which. The textures are exactly the same.
They do fall. Depends on if you squeeze it or not. But apples are. I got nothing against apples. I just don't see why you need 14 different kinds. Onions are they're different flavor. I mean, you get your red onions, which is a little bit sweeter. Well, your yellow onions are really sweet.
So the difference is, that apples are top feeders, onions are bottom feeders.
I think I like my white onions the best. I like that they use a white onion for the
Vidalia onions, Heidi. Vidalia, Georgia. Yes, they are fantastic, and they grow really huge. I mean, they're like so. There's like 6 sizes of onion in the restaurant industry, and gargantuan or giant is the biggest one. So we used to get those at the Japanese restaurant, and we'd cut them for garnishes. But that's about the size of Vidalias. They get freaking huge, they're the kind that you can peel it and you can eat it just like an onion.
The one that
won't make your eyes cry.
The bloomin' onion at Outback. That's what they use. The big monster bloomin' onion. Oh man, when that thing's cut, it's just big around, guys. It's great.
Yeah.
It's
those are what you call the gargantuan or giant onions, and it's like a 50-pound bag of them only holds like 20. It's like 20. A regular 50-pound bag of other onions, you'd have like 150 of them. This thing is like 20 goddamn onions per bag.
All right, let's see. Yeah, hold on, Jenny. We're gonna go backwards. Vatican quietly prepares for the possibility of guess what? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody? It's the Vatican. Alien encounters. The Vatican quietly prepares for possibility of alien encounters. So, I guess something on this atlas made them think about something else, huh? That's a little on the weird side. Nobody got nothing to say about that? It's the Vatican. The Vatican's all but admitted aliens are real now, so. Voyager, the Vatican. I mean, the Vatican have said more than one case.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? Was the guy before him or the guy 2 guys before him that said that?
Monsignor Balducci's the one who said it first. He's the one that released it to the public.
He's 2 back from this guy that's up there.
He's the one that said. I met him in D.C. We talked about it in great detail. It was hard because he speaks Italian, I speak English, and Piola Harris had to translate. But it was a good 2-hour conversation about it, and that's when he told me that the Vatican considers extraterrestrials to be closer to God than we are. That was a enlightening bit to me. I was kind of like, wait, what? Because the Vatican's so arrogant. To hear them say something like that makes me wonder: are they scared or what?
Well, but I think also at the same time when he was saying that, I think the bulk of the planet was getting to the point where it's a lot of people are starting to beginning to think it's too arrogant to think we're the only ones around, and I think so. It's more of it may have been not necessarily just like the Pope and the Vatican and religion doing the turnaround, but maybe it was just a global turnaround where the Buckles are like,
the Vatican is separate. No, the Vatican's a separate entity from everything else.
But yeah, considered it's just like a governmental institution. There's no real difference between any religion and any government on this planet. There's a system of control.
Government institutions are not made based on belief. Government institutions are based on strict follow through.
Not all of them, but some of them are. Yeah,
any real government is, even a king or queen or monarch, any of those governments are still based on a strict line. Religion's not. It's
still a control system of a sort. You can't get around that. It is a control system.
To whom? It's not controlling you or me.
Practitioners of the church. You ever gone to church? You grew up
so
in
you could have said that about the church 200 years ago, but today you can't say that. No, the church.
But when you do go to church, what happens?
But the church doesn't control it. No, that's only if you're going to Catholic church.
You do what you're told. Yeah.
That's a Catholic.
It's a system of control.
And I don't do that when I go into a Catholic church. I just walk in and sit down. So, I
If
mean,
if you're
that's
if you're a diehard practitioner of the faith,
and that's
when it
that's
comes to
out
those
of that's out of
of service, you will
respect.
kneel, stand, sit,
But
pray, kneel, stand, sit, pray, kneel, stand,
but
sit, pray, eat
only
this
if you're
leavened bread.
Catholic. The only Catholics do
That's what I'm
that.
talking about. I mean,
Baptists
they're all,
don't
but
do that.
all of the
Mormons
religions have
don't
a
do that.
they still have,
Yeah, man.
but all of the religion. I've looked at all of them. They all have their own rigid,
They all
ritual
have.
systems that you have to
You
go
need to
through.
use in the
The control
past tense
system that you
had.
have to do.
Today
You
is
can
different. The world's
ask
different
Jewish
today.
kids where they have to learn how to speak Yiddish. They have to learn all these like hand symbols. Like this is a Jewish hand symbol that Leonard Nimoy saw on his the day he became a man. What are they on his bar mitzvah?
Well, today's world believes in God in a different way than it used to. It's a different thing. It's matter of fact, a lot of people today may think the op duplicate super being is something else other than a god. There's no way of really knowing because none of us have found out yet.
I think
we all assume
where there's going to be a global paradigm in the point where, once and or if the alien presence makes themselves 100% out from behind the veil for the whole planet to see. Most of the people on this planet aren't really ready to give up their religion at this point. And I think if the stories are true, if the history we have, the things we suspect from the Enuma Elish and the Mahabharata and other strange texts of the day, if the aliens gave us agriculture and learning and teaching and government and these control systems like religion, I think most of the planet would cease to believe in their religion once knowing that. Well, it's just something we gave you. We may have a different shift in mentality after that point. But right now,
you really think? I think they'd do just the opposite. I think they would bite down harder and say we don't believe that you gave us.
There might be a few holdout groups. I agree, yeah, but not the whole planet. No. And I think for the most part right now,
you're way too optimistic.
This is very religious, and most of the people on the planet aren't religious at all.
What are you talking about? What planet do you live on? You're not living on Earth and saying that. Okay, so religion controls this planet at about 6.2 billion people. I don't know where you're thinking they're not. Catholics are on a big back. Matter of fact, Christianity is on a big backswing, going back up. Thanks to Charlie Kirk, by the way. But they're going to be at right 2.4, 2.5 billion. The Muslims are at 1.5, 1.8. That's 4 billion just right there. We're not even talking about the rest of it. So the point being is right now, according to almost every poll, America, not just Americans, no one in the world is ready to see aliens yet. They haven't got past God yet.
I don't know. Most people don't believe in God at all. I mean,
no, the Chinese are pretty hardcore in their religions. The Indians are definitely hardcore in their religions. All the South Americans, the Africans are hardcore in their religions. So is the Middle East. Matter of fact, the only countries that are really not hardcore in their religions is America, Canada, and Europe. The rest of the world is fuck you. They still hardcore believe in God.
On Fox, and if you listen to some of the things that some of the Republicans say, I'd say that religion is a huge factor in our government system right now, which I think it shouldn't be, but it is.
It's absolutely and totally illegal. So
I still think it plays a part, and it shouldn't be happening, and it does. But it's fairly much.
Something's always played a part in our politics, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter. That doesn't help us to be ready for extraterrestrial contact. Our planet's just not ready for it yet. ET would love to come forward, but they're looking at us like you're idiots.
Well,
not even everybody in America is ready for it.
We only have a couple of things that we as our main exports, and one of them is either tribal warfare or religious warfare.
I know. Well, Reuters said the last poll, which was I think just a couple of years ago, on how many Americans are ready to meet extraterrestrials, was less than 38%. I got to say, I was extremely disappointed by that poll.
Yeah, that does sound disappointing.
Because I would figure 50, 55%.
Least. Was it just Americans?
Yeah, that was just the American poll. But worldwide, it's worse. It's not better. It's worse.
Well, I would expect it to be worse worldwide because there are a lot of places out in the world that are.
But there's another problem with that too, because like the Indians would put this in a different look. If you're from India, you would see this differently than It wouldn't just be just a slick religious thing. It would be a real thing and a religious thing. Whereas for the Muslims, it might be something entirely different. For the Jews, they've talked about this. Things coming, big, what they would call Borg ships coming to the world. So, I mean, some of these religions have already indoctrinated this in, but don't want to take it to the next level. I think the Christians have been, that's why I think the Vatican's getting ready for it, is because I think they know it's time to get their people to know, because they know if the people aren't ready when it happens, it's going to be even worse. At least if you can admit saying, yeah, we're pretty sure extraterrestrials visited this planet and visited us in the past. We can't say what exactly was going on, what happened, and we know they're not here now, but it did happen. It would give people something to think about without panicking.
Well, and people can take this thinking to a next level, especially if they, I mean, even if you're done with going through college, you let's say you're just bored and you're retired, you want something to do, annex a world religions class at your local college, community college, big college, university, whatever. Go and study all the other religions on this planet, and you will soon see that every single one of them are identical.
That you should be living on another planet.
They're identical, though. I mean, they have different names, and the names have been changed to protect the innocent, whatever.
Well, some of them are different.
And we've deep dived on this throughout several shows.
There are a few that are different.
Zeus and Anu and Enlil and Gilgamesh and
what was the
name of God? They all have the same powers and characteristics. They're just in a different culture with that culture's name attached to it. Thor.
What was the
Thor's Apollo?
first
The
Mexican
same dude.
people? What was the first Mexican people? It starts with an O. They were
the
Olmecs. The Olmecs, yeah. So they were before the Aztecs and after the Toltecs. But the Toltecs weren't actually in Mexico. The Toltecs were down in South America. It's well, people, it gets confusing. You got the Aztecs, Incans, and Mayans. They weren't all in Mexico.
They range from about Montana, North America, through northern South America. About that range.
Yeah, where Colombia and all them places are today.
Well, I mean, we're finding that their range is even, I think, a little bit further than that. But there are thousands, tens of thousands of cities under the foliage in South America. They were all over the place.
So, Jesse, what it really looks like is each civilization's transformed into the other civilization, because there's too much similarities amongst the five civilizations we're talking about: the Toltecs, the Olmecs, the Incans and Mayans, and the Aztecs.
There's too much crossover.
Yeah, there's just too much, and they all seem to be in that area. It's like one faded into the other one, and that empire rose, and that one faded into the other one, and that empire rose. But they used all the old roads and old infrastructures from the previous towns and cities, and just kept expanding.
The Hopi are probably part of the defense of the Mayans.
Oh, Jim, if it wouldn't be for the Spanish, there would be no Mexican government. No.
Spanish had control of most of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, California, and all of Mexico and Central America. Why do you think all the names of the country there are, Spanish sounding? Guatemala.
Well, when the Mexican War was over, they sold us half of Washington State, Oregon, California, Nevada, New Mexico, and something else. And then the French sold us the Louisiana Purchase, which technically the Spanish had before them, but the French sold us. That's half the country right there.
Yeah, the Louisiana Purchase is the one. It's like the whole center part of the country, like Ohio, Chicago.
Yeah, between those two purchases, that's more than half the. No, Jesse, between those two purchases, that's more than half the country. Well, people always say, "Oh, you took it from the indigenous." No, we fucking didn't. We bought
Before
it
the Louisiana Purchase, the country consisted of, I think, of course, the first 13 states, and then I think we went out as far as maybe Tennessee was a full state at that point. And after that, it was all wild. It was all untamed continent, untamed country. from like Alabama, Louisiana, all the way up to Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Minnesota, Michigan, that whole breadbasket center of the country, Kansas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, all of that was the Louisiana Purchase. And like I said earlier, part of it was Spanish. Like, they owned all or part of Arkansas and most of Oklahoma, and that was sold to the French and was part of the Louisiana Purchase, which was the entire, like, between the Appalachian Mountains and the Rockies.
Well, Jimmy, see, we didn't do that much conquering of the native Indians. That's not the real. We did some, but it wasn't the story that you thought. Plus, on one occasion, we gave out, what was it, 80 million blankets with smallpox on it.
That was on the Trail of Tears.
Oh, it might have been 800,000. It was a lot. It killed a lot of people for no reason. Oh, yeah, man.
Well, just our presence alone in the initial years until they got used to the bugs they brought over from Europe, and then they were dying of the common cold. The native Indians were.
Oh, we killed a lot of Indians. Diseases killed more Indians than we did. I mean, physically did. Anyway, well, I just, I like, people always want to say we did this, we did that, we did this, but it's not really true. And think about this. We know who the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incans were. They were brilliant, industrious, murderous fucking people. Okay? Don't think they didn't conquer everybody. They conquered everybody in the known world and then rolled their fucking heads down fucking things or used them for hula hoops.
My tradition was when your army lost the battle, the highest ranking military guy they captured, dead or alive, his head was taken off and turned into a soccer ball. That you essentially played soccer basketball with this dude's head, kicking it into this ring up in the middle of a basketball court, if you will. While you're doing that, your priests are up on top of the nearest temple with all the rest of that man's army, cutting their hearts out while the guys are still alive, screaming their full heads off,
and rolling them down the damn,
and then rolling the body down the mountain. Yeah, it was a nasty.
Yeah, let's talk about how nice the indigenous population was. Well, dude, what are you talking about? Cherokees were pretty nasty, man. Sioux were pretty savage. I mean, they were the ones doing the scalpings, not the.
Thank God they didn't have the weapons that the Toltecs or the Mayans had given to the South Americans. I mean, imagine, the Indians when they had their clubs filled with, obsidian glass. It would be essentially the same as a sword.
Well, Jimmy, it was. Well, the Native Americans could have stopped the advance if they would have got together as one nation. They could have stopped us. Oh yeah, there was plenty enough of them to do it. They could eventually took enough weapons from us that they could have stopped the war.
And their tactics, along with their knowledge of the terrain, even our cavalry. You think Custer's last stand was fantastic. If he wouldn't have gotten that far, he would have been dead long ago. Way before he got that deep in Indian territory.
Yeah, that's the whole reason the Indians got what they got, because they proved they could do it. It's just for some reason they just didn't go ahead and do it. There's a lot of things that's weird in the world. But anyway, moving on from all of that, Voyager 1 sends cryptic signal after 5 months silence. NASA's quantum core flags non-human structure.
Say that again.
Voyager 1, y'all know Voyager 1, sends cryptic signal after 5 months silence. NASA quantum core flags new human structure. So I'm imagining this is 2 different stories in one, wouldn't you?
I don't know. Does it sound like the message is sending that Voyager 1 found some non-human structure in space?
Well, something found so quantum. We have quantum core on top of Voyager. Come on, we didn't have quantum chips back then.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
And if we did, we're just cool. We're finding out about them now.
Listen. If we had a quantum computer back then when Voyager went out, it means we would have had it during the moon landings, which means that our cell phones right now would essentially be, sentient pocket robots.
Okay, let's see what this says. Let's see. What's that, Jesse? Well, you never know what's going on. There's a lot of weird stuff going on these days. Oh, it's one of these kind. Well, let's see. Maybe we can do it old school. I don't know. We'll find out. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. That's not. Miss all this stuff. Hold on. Had all kind of stuff opened up before I could go find what I was looking for.
Gotta love them pop-ups, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Put me on the screen.
Let's see, where are we? You're up there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you're in there.
All right, here we go.
Gonna hit that grow screen button.
Voyager 1 sends cryptic signal after 5-month silence. NASA quantum core flags non-human structure. Voyager 1's 5-month telemetry glitch, caused by a faulty memory chip, was fixed by NASA engineers using decades-old manuals, while a mysterious non-human signal 15 billion miles away suggests phenomena needing further investigation. Voyager 1, launched in 1977, has exceeded its 5-year mission by over 46 years, reaching interstellar space. Its durable 1970s hardware continues to function, allowing ongoing data transmission and remote anomaly fixes. NASA's quantum AI identified a Voyager 1 signal inconsistent with human or natural spacecraft, revealing potential extraterrestrial or non-human technological patterns in telemetry that traditional analysis had missed, challenging conventional interpretations. Voyager 1's outdated software and 45-hour signal delay made repairs challenging, but engineers manually fixed a memory fault, highlighting the enduring importance of human skill alongside AI. Voyager 1's 5-month blackout at 15 billion miles disrupted research, revealed its vulnerabilities, and emphasized the need to maintain an advanced space exploration even though its signal was eventually restored. Voyager 1's recovery showcases human expertise triumphing over automation, as engineers remotely fixed FTS corruption using decades-old manuals, highlighting the importance of human insight, legacy knowledge, and backup strategies in future space missions. Voyager exposes blind spots.
Interactive brokers, the professionals' gateway to the world's markets. Invest globally in stocks, options, futures.
6-year-old hardware and a 22.5-hour delay constrain fault tolerance and repairs. Next missions must anticipate failures, blackouts, cosmic damage, and software corruption with robust, self-healing spacecraft. Voyager 1's data has deepened knowledge of interstellar plasma, cosmic rays, and the heliosphere. Its blackout paused updates, but resumed telemetry continues to inform astrophysics, space weather, and deep space mission planning. Voyager 1's recovery underscores the importance of human skills, stress management, teamwork, creativity, and preserved knowledge in managing deep space missions with long communication delays. Voyager 1's 5-month silence and cryptic signal highlight the interplay of aging technology, human ingenuity, and potential interstellar mysteries, underscoring humanity's decades-long quest to explore the universe and the spacecraft's role as a cosmic messenger.
As a cosmic messenger.
Okay, so let's clarify a few things. What they said was Voyager 1 is interstellar space. Yes, it has not left the Oort cloud, however. It's still within the heliosphere. Or the,
no, it's outside the heliosphere. It's been outside of it for a while now.
No, actually, it's outside the helios. No, well, yeah, heliosphere.
No, it's outside. It's outside of
not outside of the Oort cloud, which is
it's outside of the anything to do with our solar system. It's gone. It's left.
No, I just looked at it. I'm looking at it now on current location. It's still within the Oort cloud.
It says it's outside of all interaction of our solar system.
No, it's between the heliosphere and the Oort cloud. Both of them, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Well, they're both in the Oort cloud still.
The Oort cloud should be inside the heliosphere. If it's outside, it's not the Oort cloud. It's something else.
Okay, hang on. Let me get it up there. Hang on.
That doesn't matter. That's science. That's where it should be.
This is from NASA. I'll get you this picture.
Well, come on now. Don't
let me blow it up first. Hang on.
Wait, hold on.
Now I gotta get over here and do some fancy StreamYarding.
You sure you check the dates on it too?
Okay. Well, let me go back real quick before I throw that up. So this article came out 2023.
The last time I heard it was outside of
that's 2023.
So they had talked about it. Both 1 and 2 had left any interaction with our solar system at all. They were gone. They were outside of everything, on their way to something new. Because you don't remember when we were talking about the plasma fields
Yes.
that it was running into? Well, if there was an Oort cloud there, the Oort cloud would disrupt the plasma fields. So
Well,
it has to be
anyway,
on the other side of the Oort cloud.
this is what this picture is saying. Let me go back to it.
Okay, where'd you go? I gotta keep. Oh, that's you got on the screen. Okay. Why do I see X that there you go? I don't think it was irritating me.
All right.
Yeah, it's outside, man. It's gone.
No, here's see. This is the Oort cloud. Are we up? Am I up there?
Yeah, I got you. I can see. I got you. I got you on big screen, so I can see better.
Okay, so here's the heliosphere. It's this purple band. Okay.
What's that, Jim?
Here's Voyager 1. Here's Voyager 2, and then the Oort cloud is they're still within the Oort cloud. And this is 2023, so
so they're outside the Oort cloud then for sure. It's not that
maybe
much
by now, I don't know, but
yeah. Well, it would make sense because they was talking about going through a plasma wave, so that would probably be the header of this right here. Or the
let's see what
header of
Google
this
says.
right here.
Hey Google, is Voyager 1 outside the Oort cloud?
14.8 billion. Where were we reading it yesterday?
Nope.
It was 15.8 or something. So where would that put it? 15.
It's going to take another 300 years for it to reach the boundary of the Oort cloud.
Where is the?
So they are still within the Oort cloud, outside the heliosphere, but still within the influence of our gravity, I do believe.
No, NASA said they had no gravitational effect on these two at all. The sun doesn't even reach them anymore.
Oh well, they're still within the Oort cloud. So
yeah, so when they look backwards, you don't see the sun anymore. All you see is a
they
dot.
do as a pinprick, I'm sure.
Well, no, I think it has something to do with the heliosphere and the asteroid belt. I don't think or the Kuiper belt. I don't know if they can see through it or something.
Maybe blacked out.
Well, so you've got the heliosphere, you got the Kuiper belt, you've got the asteroid belt.
All the planets and moons, they're on the same plane as us, so they're going to be blocked by all of that stuff floating around the sun.
What's that, Jeffrey? No, you gotta watch NASA. I love NASA to death. Don't get me wrong, man. I even do SETI I used to do SETI when NASA had it, but NASA's not always. I'm gonna say this politely. They're not always got their shit together. That's why we was kind of glad when Elon Musk took over. Yeah, because we wouldn't think about it. Have you seen NASA build a new spaceship? No. We would still be hunting rides from the Russians. We paid a lot of money to get rides from the Russians.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then NASA said they were going to build all this new fancy spaceship and this, that, and other thing. And then they didn't do anything. And then they just decided, which is what I said in the beginning, to let private industry do it. And now we got 3 or 4 spaceships to use. Elon Musk has plans on doing all of that, Jimmy. Yeah. He wants to go to Mars. Not just to Mars. He wants to go all over the place. Well, if he gets his wish, he'll have colonized Mars and at least started mining the asteroid belt before he dies. I would put money on that. Let's see. Ukraine is turning Russia's armored trans into a major battlefield liability. Yeah, every time they go out with their armor, any kind of armor, the Ukrainians blow it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Project Orion, the nuclear pulse rocket that could have reached Alpha Centauri in 44 years. What? We don't want to have a rocket that takes 44 years to get to Alpha Centauri. It's only fucking 4 light years away. Give me a break. But it's Proxima Centauri. But whatever, man.
Well, but if they do it in 44 years, what is that? Like 1.1 light speed?
Oh, what the hell that is?
Something
I'm sure
like that.
Faster than that. I'm thinking we can go faster than that. We maybe need to move on from that.
I mean, if we can't reach something that close, like in Star Trek times, like within an hour or two, we're really not a spacefaring race yet.
What's it do? No, this one is NASA issues fresh alerts on the abrupt shift inside the sun. Yeah, the sun's been a little haywire lately.
Someone was saying something was pushing out of the sun. There was a weird picture of it, something
Yeah, there was
bulging out of
something
it.
weird there.
It was a NASA photo too, I believe.
Oh yeah, this one. Okay, I remember having this one. They are coming. Experts urge caution as 20 million Californians now in super sheer territory. Super sheer territory. I don't know that they're talking about chunks just breaking off. They've been telling us California's going to fall off the map for a long time. Looks like it may be a little sooner than they thought.
It is sitting on a fault line. It runs all the way up through and then underneath Alaska, I believe. So that whole plate could just go and break off at any time.
Trump is the beginning of the end of the Islamic Republic. I'm assuming they're talking about Iran.
I would assume, yeah. I mean, that's the number one on the list after, Venezuela, I think.
New warp drive theory could transform space travel.
Oh, what theory is that?
Yes. That's stick a firecracker in your ass and run like hell. And hope you achieve FTL before it explodes.
Doesn't sound very much fun.
Jesse, FTL is faster than light, yeah.
Yeah, faster than light.
That's what it means, yeah. Well, we use a lot of acronyms around here, so. No, there's a couple different groups of scientists working on warp theory. Most people think it's achievable, but it's not. See, this is the problem. I don't think that humans understand. It's not going faster than light speed. We're going to figure that out because we know for a fact now that light speed can be broken. The first time we learned about it was light bending around Jupiter. We realized that sometimes it was actually breaking faster than light speed. Sometimes it was slower than light speed, which it shouldn't have been doing either one, but it was. So at that point they realized, and then they shot I forgot what particle it was, and found out that it could go faster than light speed. So that's why they started working on transporter technologies so that they could transport you from one place to another place at light speed, which would still take a long time. It would take your beam 4 years to get to Proxima Centauri at light speed.
Yeah.
So you want to,
but that's still better than 44.
Yeah. So I mean, anyway, that's all stuff that. Yeah, it's all stuff they've been working on. And there's a couple of different programs that think they can get us faster than light. Like I said, but that's not. Say he can figure out how to go 10 times faster. That means we can get all over. Okay, now here's the real problem. How the fuck do you see 10 light years ahead of you? And you got to see farther than 10 light years. You're going to have to see 1,000, 2,000 light years ahead of yourself so you don't run into microparticles, asteroid belts, dark matter, planets, suns, stars. God knows what else is out in space.
What did Han Solo say? Driving through warp space isn't like dust and crops, boy. You can bounce too close to a meteor or fly through a nova.
So, well, if it's warp speed where it's in a warp tunnel, okay, then you're protected from most of what I just said until you come out on the other end. Then you're not.
Yeah.
So you could open up into a sun. You could open up to a black hole. You could open to a planet, other ships. It's just the possibilities are endless to get your ass destroyed. So you have to be able to see that far ahead. And on top of that, you have to have a little thing called inertial dampeners because the first time your ship jumps to light speed, it's going to squish every motherfucking thing like a little grape.
Which is why in Dune, all the space travelers needed a guild traveler, a mutated human who's 4,000 years old to bend the space and see the obstacles ahead with prescient knowledge, prescient vision, seeing into the future. I mean, paranormal, mental, psychic abilities, they were able to see ahead, bring the two locations together, and then push the highliner, as they call them in Dune, from point A to the destination B.
Yeah, so there's just a lot we're gonna have to learn. So what a lot of people are saying is we just need to start sending probes everywhere and let those probes start mapping. And not just, so let's say you build a probe like James Webb, and you can get it, say, to half a light speed. So not only is it out there cruising, but it can see, a couple of light years ahead of itself. So wherever it's at, it can still probably see 50, 80, 100 light years. When you get enough of them out there, you'll be able to travel all over the place. And then from your ship, you can launch more of these things. And eventually you'll map the area and you won't have to worry about falling off of cliffs and running.
Well, I think the problem there, though, is our current, not top secret communication technologies. We have to have something that you can be on, Pluto, and then someone here on like the moon, and they can talk real time, no delay. We don't have that communication system. And I'm not even really aware of any top secret communication systems we might even have that would span those gaps.
Tachyon relay station.
So we have it.
Jeffrey, do you know what a tachyon is? Do you even know if it's real? You should maybe look that up.
Thing, isn't it?
Why don't you look it up?
I think they're hypothetical.
Like inertial dampers. So inertial dampers are technically hypothetical. They are real, but they're technically hypothetical. Because we do use inertial dampers now on other stuff. All this stuff you'd have to go faster than light speed. Yeah, you'd have to know where you were going, how you were going.
Yeah,
what
I just looked it up. Tachyons are hypothetical particles that can only travel at the speed of light,
or faster. Yeah,
or faster.
So, no, it's hypothetical. It's been hypothetical for a while. Well,
was it proposed on Star Trek, or is it an Isaac Asimov thing that Star Trek just picked up on?
No, one of Star Trek scientists, one of Star Trek's writers said, because they used to keep a lot of scientists on set.
Oh yeah,
and he said this was a theory that they were working on tachyons for faster than light communication, because it is a problem if you want to start controlling probes in deep space.
Gerald Feinberg. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's not him. Arnold Sommerfeld and a guy named Gerald Feinberg are the first two to propose tachyons, meaning speedy. Tachys. Aaron Sommerfeld and Gerald Feinberg.
There's a lot of stuff being worked on. By the way, Janie, what's his face is working on inertial dampers for his starships. Yeah. Well, he's trying to do artificial gravity without spinning something.
1967 is when that came out.
That's a long time ago.
50 years ago.
We might have them now then. No, Janie, they
no, it still says they're proposed. It still says hypothetical on any search here.
Well, they're not going to tell us if they got fast and light communications. Lord, especially us two, we'd be telling everybody that's listening to us.
You kind of have to have that, though, if you're going to have what we have now, the Space Force, right?
Well, not exactly.
I mean, if they're at the moon right now and we need them back on the planet within 3 minutes,
it's going to be more like the captains.
It's only going to get to them within 4 or 5 minutes.
It's going to be more like the captains of colonels of World War II. So they were given X amount of discretionary power, and that's what's going to happen until we can establish. Because even in Star Trek, it took them weeks sometimes to get messages back from Star Trek.
Well, yeah, because they're so much further away.
But it's what I'm saying. It may not ever be something we can ever compensate for. So it may be that we have to give X amount of responsibility to the people who we put out there, just like we do now, which actually makes it a little bit more fun.
But there's a way around it. And I bet the aliens know it.
Jay says like, the Greys don't do that. The Greys do it telepathically.
Well, I mean, what we haven't established is there a range on telepathy? Can a telepath?
So, as far as I know,
his mind reach all parts of the universe at once.
As far as I know, there's no range on telepathy. It's how but you have to know how to use it. And how do you know? We don't know how. We know we might be what we might do is we might be able to use telepathy to jump through portals or gates or FTLs, maybe a form of FTL for a thought. Ride the damn hyperspace with your thoughts. Ooh, that would be like on Babylon 5, but I didn't think about that.
For sure. I mean, you definitely traveling at those speeds. You most definitely have to be able to see way far out, like you said. Whether it's prescient knowledge, seeing the future, but there's some trick to getting around it. So there must be a trick for that for communications. There must be a trick for that for.
Well, like I said, it might be to a point, but maybe because there's so many things that can interfere in deep space. black holes and suns and all different types of stars. All over
Gamma
the place.
rays will kill you right out
Yeah.
dead. Yeah.
Pulsars, quasars. I mean, just so much stuff. Oh, Jamie, I think once we become a real space fan race, we'll learn a lot of that stuff. But anyway, moving on from that, 200 Russian tanks obliterated at Prokofiev in devastated 24-hour assault.
When? How long ago?
It looked like it was in the last couple of days.
Jesus.
It's not giving you the total.
Why is Putin still going after this? I mean, does he have this much surplus military equipment that he needs destroyed that he's doing this? I mean, he's getting his ass wiped by a redneck.
The only thing I can think is he needs to destroy it so he has a reason to build new shit.
Yeah, suppose so. That's kind of sideways logic, but
I'm agreeing with you on that. But what else he could be thinking?
Well, I mean, come on, the bullshit excuse of blowing in there like, oh, I was going after World War II Nazis. Come on, dude. Most of them are dead, and the ones that aren't dead, the Jews know where they are right now.
There was some other things he said, though. There were some legit concerns that he was talking about. I was reading through that manifest that he gave Trump, and there was actually some stuff in there that made you kind of wonder what Lizinski was up to.
Yeah, well, he's kind of a sketch artist too, isn't he?
Yeah, so... Oh, so what they're saying is they're comparing this last 24-hour attack to an attack that happened in 1943.
Really?
Where 500 tanks were destroyed. So, damn, let's go with yourself, big boy. I don't know what to tell him. He's sooner or later he's going to force Putin's hand. Tankers ignore U.S. Coast Guard and Russia demands U.S. to halt pursuit. And Trump turns around and flicks him the bird. Oh well.
Yeah.
Britons have become a warning sign to Americans because of things like you get 18 months for insulting someone online. What? Some guy was selling stickers making fun of a politician and got 36 months.
Really?
Yeah.
In England.
In England, yeah. There's
in London, England.
In London, England. Wait, it's just as bad in Germany. In Germany, you can say stuff on your phone and they show up at your house and arrest you.
On your phone?
For stuff you said on your phone or on Facebook or Google or things like that.
Just outrageous.
It's fucking stupid is what it is. So the $5 trillion in ore is in Australia.
What kind of ore?
It's iron ore is what they said. $5.7 trillion. So they're going to make steel is what they're going to be doing. Atlas just came back into view, and science weren't ready for what it did. It gave him a big bird finger and said, fuck off.
What did it do now?
It gave him a big bird finger and told him to fuck off.
It did not.
It did. Don't fuck off. Tulsi Gabbard yoga photos draw polarized reaction when we still see you. Wait, what? Oh, we still see. Okay, I've seen these photos. There's nothing wrong with these photos. She's doing yoga on the beach.
What?
Yeah,
Tulsi Gabbard. Those photos.
I don't have them here. You have to pull them up, but I'm just reading from the list. But Tulsi Gabbard yoga photos draw personal reaction. They weren't bad photos. They weren't even. I mean, they weren't even skanky or anything.
All right, let's go see what we can
see. She was fully dressed. U.S. Navy's intercept Russian ships near Venezuela in largest Caribbean standoff in Cold War since the Cold War. Yeah, because we don't care.
Well, good Lord. That woman's in charge of our security?
Yeah.
Thank God. She's stunning.
Yes, and they're giving her shit for it. They're also giving the girl from Ice trouble because her and her partner were dancing to Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It was like, you dumbasses. I mean, I really don't that big of a problem with it, but still, it was kind of stupid.
She's 54? Wow, she doesn't look 54.
No, she looks good. Jimmy, we're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. She's in charge of national security for the United States. Yes. Yeah, she's on all kinds of people's ass right now. Well, according to the Democrats, well, when she was a Democrat, they loved her to death. But when she left, she was a Russian spy. Yes. They found that she was a Russian spy. Yes. You're either a Nazi or a Russian when you don't like the Democrats. Jimmy, there's a big movement amongst the Democrats to move back to the center. The party may end up fracturing. It may split in half, but if you're gonna think you're gonna run people like AOC for president, you got issues. And I seen them all sucking Zimbabwe's ass today in New York.
Oh my God! Well, isn't that the most disgusting display of idiocy? Jesus.
And I'm listening to what he's going to be doing, and I'm thinking you can't do any of that without Governor Hochul. So you better get up there and start sucking and go. Yeah, you better go give her some big toe loving or something. Jimmy, I mean that's disgusting. Oh wait, big toe loving's disgusting too. You idiot. Oh, you're an idiot. Let's see. Where is this one? Oh, this is that classic warp drive space time. The math works. Well, I'm glad the math works. Let's make everything else work.
What does?
The math for the faster than light travel. They say the math works. Well, if the math works, I want to see it work. Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem with the warp drive is we can get the math to work. We just don't have the machines.
Actually, you can probably get those signals from Voyager, Jess. Yeah. NASA usually lets them, they release them. Because you're not going to know what the hell it is. It's going to probably make some clicks and pops and beeps or something. Unless you got some really advanced AI we don't know about. I don't know about all of that. Well, the Russians need to get this over with because the Russians are starting to get out of money. The Chinese are kind of getting antsy smancy over there with Taiwan. I don't know if the United States is going to let them keep Taiwan if they try to take it. I don't know if Europe is either.
Well, is our chip plant still there?
Last I heard, it was.
So if they take that, I think there'd be some repercussions. But once that's gone, I don't think anyone cares what happens to Taiwan.
It's well, no, Mark. They the Chinese say that Taiwan belongs to them, just like Hong Kong was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they succeeded and got a democratic government.
Well, they actually say the whole world belongs to them. They just haven't declared that part yet.
Well, no, everything inside their walls, you know. Chinese aren't as powerful as people would like you to think they are. They're powerful, but not like that. They do have a larger navy, but like 20 ships.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, they're not as powerful as everyone would like you to think they are, and even China knows they're not as strong as they would like you to think they are.
I think our Air Force is like 4 times the size of theirs, or 5 times. And you have to remember when you're comparing us to China, you're comparing one-on-one. You're not comparing us and our allies or us and NATO, which makes it like 15-on-1 or 20-on-1. No, I was looking for, what did I do with it? I had something else I wanted to show you, but what do you mean about the Vatican believing in aliens? That's nothing new, but
yeah, that's old news. We actually talked about that a little while ago.
What do you mean we didn't go to the moon? What moon we didn't go to?
Yeah, and only like 3 other different space agencies have proven it.
Yeah, dude, you can actually see the landers on the moon now. Yeah, you're kind of
You
screwed.
can see them from here on Earth. You can see them in the pictures that Japan, China, India, Russia. Who else went up there? Did Pakistan go up there? I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, so now they're calling it something different. NASA's saying we could be building an O'Neill cylinder.
A
which would
what?
An O'Neill cylinder. It's
Stargate?
It's like a Dyson sphere, but it's a cylinder.
Oh, I see.
Okay, it's kind of stupid. Could China's bombers reach American mainland? Yeah, with some help, with some fueling, and like if we didn't see them. It's a long ways to fly without being seen now.
Yeah.
And God help you if we see you, because you're not going home.
They've got a lot of nerve trying to cross that Pacific Ocean.
Why China fears THAAD, the missile shield changing global defense. Because you thought you were going to build that stupid big block thing all over the place, and that was going to save you. And America must have been laughing its ass off because it's stealth or not, we can see the damn thing from miles away. We don't even need to know it's stealth. We just shoot the damn thing and blow it up, and you won't have no missile defense shield.
It could turn completely invisible, and we could still shoot it.
How Elon Musk will bring humanity to Mars. We love you, Elon. When you're going to launch another car into space. So they're saying that there will be 1 million people living on Mars by 2050.
By when? 2050?
2050.
It's not that far away.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like 2100.
Yeah.
The Russian war just machine is dead. They've taken a big chunk of the Ukraine. I want some of that territory back. Yeah, I say, look, you need to keep Crimea, it's fine, but I want the rest of my territory back, or fuck you, we'll keep fighting. All right, Jimmy, the problem for Russia is Russia does have some advanced technology, and they got some badass jets. Yeah, that is a true story. We did get their Firefox jet. One of the pilots left Russia. He, what do you call it when they leave?
Defected.
He defected from Russia and brought us a Foxbat. A brand new spanking Russian Foxbat, a Su-25. Yeah, at the time it was the baddest airplane in the sky. Well, America can admit when other people have better planes, we just build more of them.
Yeah, and have better pilots.
Yes, we do have better pilots. I don't know what's going on with the Russians. I really don't. I'm really surprised Russia hasn't just decided to take China and be done with it. It would really boost their country so much. Well, the problem for Russia is 1 billion Chinese come running across the borders with pitchforks. It's still the poor Russians would be dead after 2 days.
That'd be quite a sound, a billion people running across the hill with pitchforks.
I know. No, Jesse, there's a lot of stuff that our government works. I've been seeing a lot of new technology coming out. I've been seeing a lot of the new drone technology. That's one of the things that China got all pissed about. Was China had come up with this new swarm technology where they could control 4 swarms at a time. And then America came up with this new, I guess it's an EMP, and poof, it can knock down 500 at a time. Well, ain't that a fucking bitch? If we put one of them on all of our ships and all of our battlefield people, your drones just became useless unless you shield them. And then they'll be so heavy, they won't have much distance on them.
Yeah, they wouldn't have 20-minute flight time. That's not enough.
Yeah, Christopher. Well, The Russians don't want a war with us. They can't win a war with us. No, we kicked their ass. A conventional war did already be lost. It would be over with. It would have been like Iraq. Yeah, it would have been over and done with.
Yeah, Iraq was quick.
Technically, if the Ukraine had aircraft, they would already have air superiority over Russia. I mean, they already fired drones and shit and things all over Russia.
I would say with what they do have drone-wise, they do have air superiority.
Iran makes move at nuclear site targeted by U.S. Yeah, well, we're going to probably go blow that shit up some more. U.S. FA-18 hammers Somalia with record 100 airstrikes over 1,500 Saudis.
Wow.
And then another 1,500 ISIS fighters wiped out.
This is for still retaliation for those 3 Americans that were shot?
Yep, that's what it is. Trump pivots on Putin after CIA briefing. I'd like to see that CIA briefing because I don't always believe so. China's biggest solar farm is doing more than making electricity. It's killing the planet.
Say what now? They're killing the planet. How?
These big farms are bad for the planet. They cause overheating. They cause all the stuff around them to die. They're very pollutive. F-47 explained. America's 6th generation fighter built for the Pacifics. Training. Tranny. It's a tranny. What? How can a plane be a tranny? There's just something wrong with that.
What the hell? Who wrote that article?
Somebody who don't know how to spell training, apparently.
Some woke idiot, yeah.
What's that, Jimmy? It's a beautiful jet. It's fast as hell. Well, I noticed something. America never builds jets faster than Russian jets. Our jets are always slower than their jets. I don't know why.
But our missile systems are longer range than theirs.
Now, Chinese.
We don't need to be faster. We just need to be farther away.
No, Jeffrey, the Chinese haven't even finished developing their 5th gen, and we're out with the 6th. By the time they're through working through the problems with their, JU-30 and 60, this plane will be deployed. Yeah. Which means we'll be working on our Gen 7, and they haven't even started working on their Gen 6. Plus, we've been talking with Germany about this new fancy space plane they got. Well, I don't know what rules Germany has for weapons anymore. I know we have nuclear weapons on their territory, though.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're under certain restrictions on what kind of things they can build. And certainly no, military type stuff. So how they were able to, put together a top secret, aerospace plane that goes into outer space, that's kind of shocking,
Yeah, that's badass.
What else are they developing behind NATO's back? As a member also of NATO, by the way.
So let's see what this is. Venezuela's S-125 anti-air missile system is positively ancient today, yet the same model was unexpectedly able to shoot down an F-117 Nighthawk over Serbia in 1999. They got lucky. It was the only one that got shot down.
They had to have gotten lucky, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's okay, dude. We'll wipe those out first day. They'll be going.
Yep.
What was that? No, you went. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. Oh, yeah, did you see? Oh, yeah, we got it. It's gone. You see the problem with Venezuela, what they don't understand, and most people who want to get into an argument with us, is America likes to fight. It's who we are. Leave us the fuck alone. Don't pick with us.
I don't know if necessarily that we like to fight. It's just that we not only do we do it well, we like winning. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Said he found a signal at 1420 megahertz, exactly where aliens would broadcast.
Really?
Yeah.
How the fuck, pardon my French, do they determine At what frequency on our radio dial an alien species is going to
I'm
answer
gonna.
us on?
I don't know, but I'm gonna save this for another night because we ain't got time for it tonight.
Yeah.
And we'll save it for then. Well, we'll have to hear what they're saying. We can cut off 80% of their oil. Wait, what? Who is this? Get out the way.
Well, whose oil?
80% of their oil. Let's see. We can cut off 80% of their oil. The strategy could trigger a war with China. India is turning to Andaman and Nicobar Islands into a forward military outpost, and China's watching. So, whoever writes these things should be bitch slapped.
I was saying the same thing because it's probably an AI story that I saw about the 22-minute new Roswell video, and nothing I can find about it at all other than these weird. It's an AI description of the video without showing the 22-minute video. I mean, I don't want a 20-minute, audio description. I want to see it.
Yeah, somebody probably pulled it. Let's see. India is turning to Andaman, Nicobar, the islands forward. China's watching nervously located western into the Straits of Malacca. This tiny chain gives India the power to monitor or even block 80% of China's oil imports.
Ooh, wow! With
plan for new airstrip bases, missile batteries, and even undersea surveillance. Ooh. They're gonna cut you. You're gonna cut your oil off, China. You better be nice, buddy. Iran's floating drone base that changed naval warfare.
Iran has a floating drone base. Where are they launching stuff into the ocean? I mean, aren't they landlocked? I mean,
somehow they got a little navy there. I never did figure that one out. Germany just
operate out of somewhere in the Mediterranean. Then,
yeah. I've been seeing some of the new machine guns coming out. They're pretty bad to the bones. Jimmy, it takes about 26 minutes for a Russian nuke to reach the United States. It's at hypersonic, probably around Mach 6.
Unless it's launched off of a submarine in New York Harbor.
We if we start launching nukes, we're gonna start launching nukes. We ain't gonna play around. Nah, fuck that. We're gonna start launching nukes. There's no reason for us to. Nobody's bothered us the way we should have to launch a nuke. But the point is, this is Trump. U.S. locked and loaded if Iran kills protesters. The Blackbird rules. Why it leaked fuel, mocked the Soviets, and only let married men fly.
Only let married men fly.
Yeah, I know why. Because they got somebody to go home to. Crazy ass motherfucker. That's probably might see. Oh, let's see what this thing will do. Blow this expensive thing apart. The SR-71 was an answer to the U-2 because it got shot down. Yes.
Well, there's some speculation about that, which is tied in with JFK and Lee Harvey. Lee Harvey in 57 or 8 was in Japan, and he was a radar tech for ding 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 ding.
Ooh, spit it out, man.
He was the plane. What we were just talking about, the one that Gary.
That's
not the 71. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was a U2. Yeah, Gary. Yeah,
he was
Gary
a U2 He was a U2 radio radar operator.
Yeah.
And then within 2 weeks of him leaving that facility, he emigrated to Russia, and that's when Gary Powers was shot down.
Yeah, probably knew his flight plans.
He gave up the flight plan, or at least the flight corridors. And then in 1962, he emigrates back to America with his Russian bride and child, with no bad things happen to him. normally when somebody does that kind of thing, both countries have a huge dispute over whether he can go back or be. He comes back to America with no problems whatsoever. In fact, he's given money to give a down payment on a house and all that kinds of stuff. It's very strange.
Was it Jimmy? I've seen a couple articles on what the spy balloons were doing. Yeah, the Chinese spy balloons over our country. It looked like a couple of them would just mark where all of our nukes were, so they could hit them easier.
Yeah,
they came up through McMurdo. They came through. I don't know why we let them get away with that. We should have declared war on their ass and scared the shit out of them. NASA detects a Mars signal. Wait, what?
What?
NASA detects a Mars signal unlike anything ever logged.
Really?
Yes, let's see.
Yeah.
The latest data from the NASA robotic explorer on Mars has revealed a signal that does not fit neatly into any category scientists have logged before. Instead, the signal is a dramatic spike in a pattern emerging across several instruments. The mission hinted that the red planet is far more dynamic and perhaps more hospitable to chemistry like life than earlier models suggested. So they think there's life on Mars. Okay, well, thank you.
Or there's more. It has more parameters for life than were previously thought.
Well, they think there's life on Mars because if you've got parameters for life on a planet that's 5 billion years old, you either have life or you don't.
Yes.
So more and more they're starting to think there's going to find, because now they know there's liquid water on Mars in different places. So
yes,
they're pretty sure they're going to find underground streams and stuff like that, where the pressures are going to be different, things are going to be different inside of caverns and things. So they may find life, pre-existing life from God knows when.
Yeah, there's probably if there's water just under the surface and just under the caverns and whatnot, I'll bet you there's some geology on the surface. Rocks probably the size of a fist or a softball probably have some water locked inside of them too.
Jesse, I'm just waiting for them to find ruins. I already know they're going to find life. Yeah, that's not a biggie. Well, they're going to find intelligent life is one thing, but they're definitely going to find life.
Yeah, I think they'll find some plant life or something living in the caverns.
Some nematodes or something. Well, that one skeleton they found, or they thought they found, looked like a rat or something.
On Mars?
Yeah, they thought they found. After a while, they said, "Oh, it must have just been something else," and they wouldn't go back and check it. They checked it out pretty good, and it looked like some type of animal skull, some type of animal skeleton. But they never ruled it out either. They just never went back and checked it again. It was too far out of their way, I guess. I would think something like that would be something you'd want to go check out.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of anomalies on Mars, so the only way we're going to know about the anomalies is to go and say, how come that door is only 1 inch tall? Martians are only 1 inch tall. Won't that suck? I mean, for them anyway. They have advanced super lasers, but the beam's so low because we're so big it doesn't do anything. You could use it to remove ingrowing hairs and stuff. We don't know what's on Mars. We do think there's some type of life on Mars. We do think there's liquid water on Mars. The reason more and more scientists talk about life is because when the poles recede, the ice caps melt. And when they do, it looks like some kind of blackish stuff blooms up. And then when the ice comes back, it goes away. It looks like some kind of maybe algae plume or something like that. It could be something else, some type of plant. And then there's been a couple of places in deep valleys they look like they have some type of life. Well,
was the Marianas Valley. They think there may possibly be life way at the bottom of that huge lightning strike canyon.
Yeah, whatever caused that big fucking thing. Well, it doesn't look like it's from water, Jimmy. It looks like something hit it or pulled it.
You can fit the Grand Canyon in it like 19 times or something like that. It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, Mars got the biggest biggest valley and the biggest volcano. And it's a planet, what, 1/6 the size of Earth.
1/5. 1/5 that of Earth.
All right, Jesse. Well, it's the same for the gravity, doofus. Yeah, you're Superman. You know that? Did you know you're Superman on Mars? You can lift cars.
Or the moon.
Yeah, well, the moon, you'd be even more Superman because there's less gravity there. But well, the moon's gravity is, I guess, from us.
It's 1/6 that of Earth's.
Because
And
the moon doesn't have a spin, so it's not creating its own gravity.
Yeah.
So it's got to be gravity coming from Earth. Or maybe it's the way it moves around Earth. It's what causes. I'm not sure, but I know there's not much of it. Well, the suits are weighted. The spacesuits are weighted. If you weren't in a spacesuit, your ass would be floating around on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, those shoes are weighted, my friend. There's lead in those things. Because if not, look at your boy when he was throw a fucking round, going to throw that case into space and almost threw himself into space. You gotta be careful out there. You just do know we're getting ready to go, but we just wanted to come see y'all. We'll get back to doing some 4-1s, but really there wasn't that much news tonight. It was New Year's, and I thought about doing a recap. Maybe we'll do that next week. Well, we could do a 4-hour show and do a recap, yeah, and all the stuff that's happened. What Uncle Trump and Uncle Epstein's up to, and Uncle Bill and Uncle Obama and Petty Joe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it. Well, Trump's getting ready to start suing people if they don't quit putting out. I've seen some newspapers today putting out these bullshit articles where they put out 6 photos with Trump and it's blacked out, and then they put out things like the condoms don't have his name on it, just his face. You know what the hell that's about. There's all kind of other sex toys now, but they put it all together in one thing. It didn't all come in one thing, but they put it all together in one thing, like, oh, this is all Trump's toys. Yeah. No, it's deceitful. At least it's deceitful.
Well, they're manufacturing evidence for a story. Is that what's going on?
No, all this stuff is real. It just comes out from different times.
Oh.
So all these sex toys are real. They had all kind of sex toys, but they were putting that in the same
sex toys.
Yeah, they had all kind of sex toys. I mean, you name it, they had all kind of shit. They made Diddy look like a sane guy. And they were talking about all of that. They're talking about a lot of stuff. But what they try to do is they try to release it in one batch, with make sure Trump's like in there 6 times. It's just still the same pictures they're recycling with Trump. The ones from, they're all pictures from when he was at the award ceremony. He owned, what was it, Miss America, Miss Universe, or one of both of them?
He owned Miss USA and Miss Teen USA, and I think Miss US and the Universe pageant. Those 3.
Yeah, so people always wanted to be around him when he was getting pictures done. Well, he's the guy. Yeah, I know. He's the guy. I don't make the rules, my friend. But I'm just saying it's deceitful practice the way they do it because they're just trying anything they can. I don't see them doing that with Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or anybody. And even though Barack was mentioned in there 3 times, you haven't seen his name come out even again.
Well, they didn't even try that on any of the Bushes or Reagan. And why is this president so different than anyone else? I mean, why is he so hated? I can only think that, again, the way he was portrayed on NBC in his show, The Apprentice and Celebrity Apprentice, the public image that he received is that he's one of an arrogant asshole that just wants to, be a dictator. And that's how you sell TV shows. You have to manufacture some kind of drama, some kind of, excitement for people to want to come and watch the show. And that's how he's perceived in the public now. Is it's an arrogant dictator, want to kill everybody asshole.
Yeah, but I really think it's more about you have to remember, even then Oprah Winfrey loved him and wanted him to run for president. Hillary was saying he'd make the greatest president. What happened was he traded him out. He told them he wanted to run, and they made fun of him. So he said, "Fuck you, I'm gonna go be a Republican," and he did, and he won.
And twice.
Yeah, so they hated him. I mean, after they realized he had a chance of winning, they really started hating him. I mean, it got sickly bad.
Well, I think they quickly realized that he would have been their golden boy, and they wouldn't be in the situation they are now had he, had they backed him from the beginning.
Yeah, but no, they didn't. They said no. They had somebody else in mind. I don't know who it was, but
and they literally have no one to blame but themselves. They can't blame him for what their idiot decision.
No, that's what it was. No, that's what it was. They just had the first black president put in office, and I love when you tell a black man that, and he always says the same thing. He's not black. He's half black. He ain't the first black man.
Yeah.
And then so they figured they'd get the first woman too. It just backfired on their face. And then when that wasn't good enough, they figured they'd get the first woman and black woman, and that backfired in their face.
They were going for the double hat trick there. It's like, nope, not going for it.
And I was listening to this thing today with several Democrats talking, and they were talking. It's a good shot that they may not see the presidency for 12 years or more.
Oh yeah. I'd be surprised it would. I'd be surprised if it's even that early. I'm thinking 20, maybe 25 years.
Well, as long as the economy stays good and we stay out of trouble, it belongs to them.
Yeah, I mean, aside from a fatal blowout accident on the Republicans' part, I don't see a 15-year recovery. I see 2025.
JD becomes a transvestite and looks like Erica Kirk.
They would need something that dramatic.
They would look bad. Oh no! Actually, Jimmy, we usually stay late. No, not tonight. I'm just tired. No, I got this. I don't know what I did. My foot. So I'm going to go see a doctor. Oh no! My leg was hurting me for like a week, and then it quit, and then my foot started hurting. You mean gout? I don't know. It could be, but I don't think that's what it is. Probably something else. Doctor named a couple things. It could be part of the sciatica, some type of nerve thing.
Sciatica sucks. I had that once. It is not fun.
Yeah. So anyway, they'll check it out and let me know. We'll find out. We'll find out together. No, it hurts. It's like my big toe to the side of my foot and underneath my foot. It feels like somebody's taking a poker, heating it up and sticking it in there. Not near as bad as when my face hurts when I get that trigeminal neuralgia, but it still hurts like shit. Well, I was going to go 2 weeks ago, but I figured it was just my back, and my back acts up every once in a while. And it kind of started settling down, and all of a sudden my foot started hurting. It don't hurt all the time, but it nags, it hurts, and once it's like sting. Yeah, so I'm going to go get it checked out. See what it is. Yes, it's one of the bitches of life. Yes, it is. But anyway, on that note, we got to go. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio. We got most of our stories in tonight, Jimmy. What are you talking about? And I think we got everything on our list.
I think we nailed it pretty well. Yeah.
We got everything on our list tonight. Well, I would have had a longer list, but I knew we were going to be closing out kind of early. Well, Jeff, Jay's got an old age. She might want to be snuggled on or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she might want a candy or something. I'm going to steal a piece of somebody's lemon pie when I leave here in a minute. Shh, don't say that. Anyway, I don't know. I want to tell everyone thank you for tuning in to United Public Radio News on the Flip Side. I'll be here tomorrow with John Goodman. We'll be doing Arthur's Quill, and then Jay and I will be back with Sean doing the chat. What do you mean what the chat's going to be about tomorrow? Whatever you want it to be.
Whatever you bring to us. It's an audience-based chat form.
It's where the insane come to be enlightened. Actually, it's where the insane come to be calm.
I will have my encyclopedia with me, as always.
We got a lot. Well, what do you mean? I don't know if we're going to talk about Epstein. I mean, maybe if something
Epstein's
comes
played
out.
I mean, until they still have hundreds of thousands of papers to go through, photos and millions of redacted lines they have to try to figure out. It's going to be somewhat.
I definitely want to talk about maybe some warm drinks for the January and February season. Warm cocktails. Yeah.
Hot toddy.
Yeah, something good like a Irish coffee or something like that. Yeah, hot toddy, things like that. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. Anyway, we're going to go. I thank everyone again for tuning in to United Public Radio News on the Flip Side. Jay, you back on church or you still on leave?
We're on leave until the 8th. or 9th, 8th or 9th. Next week we're on.
Yeah, y'all come by and check them in and see what's going on over there with the crazy people. No, I'll be here tomorrow, Arthur's Quill, and we'll be back for the chat afterwards. Yeah. You know what? I don't have the guest list in front of me, Arthur's Quill. I usually do, but I don't tonight. I didn't even open it up. No, well, guess we'll see. But anyway, on that note, I want to thank you again for tuning in to United Public Radio and News and Flipside. Have some fun, enjoy your lives. Remember, life is only this long. So get out there and have some fun, enjoy it. Don't be a dumbass. No ass.
Yeah, and don't be a dick either.
That's right, and no assholio stuff. No, good night, everybody. No assholio stuff, people.